Is there anyone videotaping or recording the event? Lake Cam is present. Thank you. Okay, glasses on. Tim Long is not here. So we're going to jump right into Mark. How are you tonight?
Hi, very good, thank you.
Good.
Having me. So I'm Mark Walter. I'm the race director for the Grand Prix Tri-Fest triathlon that we have here each year. So I just thought with that event coming up at the end of next month, it would be a good idea just to come in and just touch base. So I don't think this will take long.
We appreciate it.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that, giving me the time. Really no changes, major changes to speak of. You know, we will be here once again on Thursday to set up, and then Friday, and then the races will be Saturday and Sunday. You know, no changes to the courses or anything. You know, so timing should all be exactly the same. Saturday generally wraps up with the race, and people are pretty much out of here by, you know, almost 10:30, 11, and then the afternoon's kind of slow. People kind of come and go when we have pack and pick up for the next day's race that afternoon, and then the next day race will again start just like Saturday at 7:30, and you know, we hope to be packed up, cleaned up, and totally out of here by about 3 o'clock. That's generally the pattern. So again, no major changes. Numbers should be roughly the same, maybe a little up. I'm trending a little up, so that's good. And then, so that's pretty much it. Any questions on that?
Are you going to be using the same facilities as last time?
Yes. So
everything else exactly. So
yes. So we generally use this area for storage. We set up the tables here pretty much on you know, Friday or Thursday whenever we have access, and then that setup stays until through Saturday, and then Sunday we break it down as soon as registration's over. So that room is generally cleared by, you know, 8:30. But then
you don't need a tent. We don't need that tent.
No, we don't have a tent.
We don't have a tent this year. So
you don't have the big tent. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I come.
yeah.
Okay. Good time.
Brian Grant, who rents it to you like to leave at Cathedral Camp.
Yep.
That's that big one.
Yep.
And I mentioned it. So
okay.
if you want to give him a call, you can rent it from him directly, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, if he puts it up today?
Yeah, no, I mean, unfortunately, we had an accident with it and got destroyed
Okay.
last fall.
Okay.
So we're trying to make alternative plans. Rather than buying a new tent, we may be looking into a pavilion, a permanent structure.
Yeah.
But right now we don't have anything.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. The ice machine, does the ice machine work? And that's something that hasn't worked in the last year or two.
Yeah, no.
We get a broader road.
It's gone. I don't even believe it's here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. So one of the things I spoke to Nicole about, maybe that's who I have to continue to speak with, she was going to send me some information. I am interested in having a food truck come on Saturday, so do I work all that through with her?
Yep.
Okay. Same thing with beer on Sunday. I know that's
Yep. They set up. They do all the beer and liquor. All runs through them.
Okay. Awesome.
They have the license, so.
Okay. Something else that might be outside this, probably is outside the scope, but I'm just going to bring it up anyway. I'm aware that there are plans for there to be some road work on the precinct. So I've been in touch with the highway department. I just this past week spoke with the new town administrator. I just thought I'd bring it up if there's any new news on that regarding the timing, because that could obviously be a big issue for us.
It's the state. It's the state that's doing it for the railroad that's coming through.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have five road crossings in town.
Mm-hmm.
So.
5 railroad crossings in town?
Yeah, live crossings.
Okay.
So the problem is they're coming when they want to come on their schedule.
Yeah.
And even when they make a schedule, they change it. And I think that's what happened with the Freetown race.
Right.
They changed it. They were supposed to come the week before.
Yeah.
And on Thursday night, they said, "Oh, we're not coming," and came, "Oh, we're coming the next week."
Right.
You know, so it made for some confusion. So we didn't know if there was a possibility that you might just be able to work out an alternate route just in case. I know it's difficult, but it's just something that, I mean, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Is it the bike or the run?
It's the bike.
Both.
Oh, it's both.
I mean,
and that stretch of I think it went on to Pierce Ave.
Yes.
Is pretty tough anyhow. That's a
Yeah.
pretty tough stretch. And I know you had to do what you had to do.
Right.
But it just a thought. As we get closer, maybe we can give you more information.
Yeah.
And it may be a mute point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll certainly have to have some contingency because what I'm hearing is what could be dug up is from 18 all the way up to 79 Precinct Street. That whole stretch.
I haven't heard that, but anything's possible.
Okay, so what have you heard?
No, just near the crossings, they're working on the culverts and what have you.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Right.
No one has approached us and told us that there's any, but why should they, other than an event like yours?
Right.
Why should the Parks Department know that they're working on the roads?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you know.
I did just get the permit from the state, from MassDOT, whether or not, again, they're all talking, who knows?
Yep.
But,
You're all set with the police?
well, we'll work through that.
Okay.
But certainly,
Okay.
yeah. With John, Joyce, so
Yep.
we'll certainly get that buttoned up in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just something to be aware of that, we're just trying to get it all out there for you.
Yeah.
Like you come in here, we're trying to give you as much information as we know.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just some of the information I got today was, that, it's a possibility of any of the crossing areas.
Right. Yeah, so I don't
They're
think,
working on Melbourne right now.
yeah. I mean, it was a total non-issue for the race we had last month, because most of the work is off the roads.
Yeah.
So anyway, but again,
It wasn't you, and it wasn't the road, and it wasn't that. There was another place on Pierce that was having an event. So,
right.
The gym line. So there was just a lot of traffic on a skinny road, and that's all. It was just, we're just trying to work out the kinks before they come.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
And make everybody aware of what's, as much as we know. And if we hear any more, we'll obviously let you know.
Okay.
As we get closer, but it's just something you might want to think about. I know it's difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
But just something
Sure.
to keep in the back of your mind.
Definitely. So really the only other thing I wanted to bring up is, so I just found out today that the dates that I had asked for next year, which I asked for last August, I wasn't granted that they even though it was away. Forcing me, the last communication I had was the only date available to me for next year is Labor Day weekend.
For this building? It's the building, right?
Well, that's part of what I want to understand, why am I being told I can't have one of the weekends we've had the last 18 years? When I asked for it 2 years in advance.
What is it?
Somebody must have booked something.
For next
See,
year?
because what's happened here is we've entered into a contract with a management company, and they take care of all the handling of the renting of the building.
Right.
So, we get the schedule after the fact, and unfortunately, this may have been what happened, is somebody booked a wedding, 2 years out.
Right.
I don't know, Nellie's looking at the schedule now.
Because I'm just wondering if there's, again, the last email, which I think in response to was, trying to verify that there are literally no August dates next year. So that was my first question. Because I've already said, I'm just going to grab the
There's
first
no way
weekend
you
in
can book
September.
out all of August to your house.
I don't know, I can't imagine.
According to the calendar, which sometimes they have things on their own that's not on this, but I do have a wedding utilizing the whole building every weekend.
Well, that's not.
And does
See,
that
that's the
mean,
problem, because weddings, a lot of times the two years ahead, and you let us know like a year. You let us know after this, when you want it for next year.
yeah, well, I asked for next year's dates last August.
Oh, you did?
2 years in advance. I was told those dates were given in February of 2018 for August of 2020, 2.5 years in advance.
Wow.
That's why we outsource it, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know they book weddings early, I didn't know it was 2.5 years.
2.5 years is really pretty long.
That's how part of that bride.
Yeah.
So, maybe you want to look at the following year. Did you say that?
So I then provided the next dates I want for the next 4 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
No, absolutely.
But I'm still, so
Right.
that's good, but I'm still worried about next year. Labor Day weekend could be a problem
Yeah.
on a number of fronts.
Yeah.
I'm prepared, I'm not gonna not have the event, so I'm prepared to do it that weekend. But again, what I'm trying to understand, number one, I'm kind of looking for verification that every other weekend in August is no good. I'm not even sure I want, I just kind of wanted all my options. And then for the weekends that I asked for, is there an opportunity to potentially cohabitate with the wedding? I get, I don't, there's only these limits to that, I get it. But if they're, hey, yeah, it's a Saturday night wedding, then maybe we don't have access to this. Like, I'm willing to be flexible to try to get the date. But again, there's limits, right? If they say, well, we need the whole bill, I don't know, like, there may be a point where I said, all right, it's not worth trying to make it work.
No, I understand.
Kind of want to pursue all those options, and I just don't.
First, yeah, no, right.
Do that way.
What do you use this building for?
So we really just use this area for storage, so I can give it up. It's convenient, but I can give it up. There we do packet pickup. So we have volunteers in here on tables. All the athletes basically come in here to get their T-shirt and race number and everything, and then they go out the side door out that way. So we don't use any of the far room. And what we've been doing is we set that up on Friday, and we leave it set up through Sunday morning. So that'd be the kind of thing, I'm sure this room and that room is big for the weddings.
Yes.
Right, so if the wedding is Saturday night, and we could have this and that cleared by Saturday noon, like, does that then make it work? Then that leaves me with the issue of, right, what am I going to do for the next stage race? But again, I'm willing to try to figure out how to make this work versus the alternative of trying to do this on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we'd have to bring in SEM to talk it out.
Yeah, and see what time is it scheduled for? Is it just scheduled all day, one event?
We have 2 weddings that are double blocks, so it's the whole day.
Which one are we talking about now?
Yeah,
Saturday?
The Saturdays,
Every Saturday? No,
every Saturday.
There's no way that's right.
You have 2 weddings.
There's no way that's right.
Not 2
Block
weddings, one
The
wedding,
block.
double block. So they do the
That's
2
a
block
block.
sections to rent out the whole day, which means they come in the morning to decorate, then they have their ceremony on site, and then it's the reception on site, so it's a whole day.
And that's the new reservation that we okayed, that
But
they
did that go
rent
into
the whole building.
Yeah, but did this apply to them?
No, these are literally people
Double
being
block.
charged double blocks of time.
I mean, the other thing, I could do everything outside. We've done that before too.
No, we
Just get a
have,
big tent and.
right, but we have our office here, okay? There's a front door and a side door. And I know it's small.
Yeah, I'd rather get a big tent.
Okay, no,
and then
just
just
to-
organize ourselves,
Yeah.
now I'm exposed to the weather, so it's not ideal, but, before, while this building was getting built, we did that.
Right.
So, again, I'm willing to try to find a way to make this work, to try to keep those dates. People are creatures that have, anyway, I won't go into all the reasons.
No, I know, I understand.
It's not a good weekend.
I just,
I'd be willing to reach out to SEM and see.
Yeah, we have to.
we need to talk to them
It seems
and see
unfeasible.
exactly what the situation is.
It doesn't
I mean,
matter
if
to
it-
you which August weekend, any August weekend?
What's the
No, it doesn't
preferred?
matter. My preference, I have it in the email, either the second to last or last weekend of August. Sorry, I don't
So
have
the
date.
22nd of August, it looks like, would be the second to last, the 29th being the last one. So it
Yes,
looks like
the 22nd, 23rd, or 29th and 30th
29th.
Because I mean,
of 2020.
if it's a night wedding,
Yeah, we might
we should be able to do this, especially if it's a Saturday wedding where you're out of here. I mean, we should be able to swing it. We just gotta find out. I mean, if it's an afternoon wedding, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, the times that are
I know,
listed
I
here
know, it
aren't-
doesn't say, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right, it
So we
doesn't
need to
notate
talk-
anything they
We need to
talked
talk to
about.
SEM and see what the schedule
Right.
is for those days. But did you tentatively book
I did say.
Memorial
yeah,
Day?
So that was a
Yeah,
few
it's on
days.
Labor Day, I mean?
I just,
Yeah, it's
I was emailing with you because I just see Loon Pond.
Oh, yeah, no, that was SEM, but I see it on here for
Okay.
that Labor Day weekend.
Okay, so they did put the intro there.
Yes.
Okay.
The reality is that since it's an enterprise fund and we don't get tax money, these are like the two, this event, your event, and these weddings are pretty much where all the money comes from.
Sure.
So those two things have to coexist somehow.
Somehow we have to make it work, if we can. Like I said, I mean, if it's an afternoon wedding, I think it's gonna be a problem. But if
Right.
it's a night wedding, a 6 o'clock wedding, we should be able to work something out.
Yeah.
And that's my hope, that it's a 6 o'clock wedding reception and they're coming in and setting up, and then maybe we have you, set up your table outside, or use the office, whatever works for you. I mean, we'll just let you see it. If it's too small, I understand.
Yeah.
If you'd rather be outside, I understand that. I just wanted to offer that to you.
I appreciate it.
But
Have to get them.
Get some
So-
more information from Southeast Management.
we need to talk to them, and then we can get back to you as soon as possible on that. We have your contact information?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we will do that on our end.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't have anything else for this year.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And that's for 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm set for dates for 2021 versus through 2024.
Hopefully we'll have a nice pavilion.
Weird writing those dates, 8/23, 24.
Yeah, right, right.
Anyway, okay, thank you.
All right, thanks for coming in.
All right.
Appreciate it. You are,
I'm Tim Long here from Honolulu Junior from Volunteer.
okay. You're up. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So I talked to Josh,
Yep.
and one of the things that we're trying to figure out is that you probably just heard that small speech on, money is always a premium, like it is for any town
Sure, yeah.
office, but the challenge is that we're always trying to, take the money and get the most use out of it. And one of the things but I'm understanding, I don't know the history of what other teams have done, but the challenge of really the fees that people pay don't really cover much, right? It's $15 a head per kid, and then all of a sudden, that doesn't even cover the fertilizer. So some of the things that we try to figure out are creative ways to make sure we're spending all the money properly. And one of the challenges, I believe, and you're more looking at the fields, I think, is...
Yeah, you're probably aware, football practice beats up the fields pretty good.
Yeah.
So we usually have to do some extensive field work every year. This year we had to reseed it and fertilize it. So it cost about $2,500. So it actually cost us money to have you folks here.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out a way that's feasible for both. I assume you still want to
Yeah,
use it.
I'm a little bit surprised because, so we have our own field down in Freetown.
Right.
So now we don't play any games here for 2 years.
Right.
And in addition, we practice at that field on Friday nights. So, we used to practice, 3 nights a week here and then have games, Saturday and Sunday, 4 weekends a year. And, but the Friday and the weekends are totally gone. So I know that we're not nice to the fields, certainly on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I had a suggestion, but before that, Mark, do you have something else?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I forgot to ask, one question is there any tournaments or anything going on the weekend of this year that might impact parking or anything like that? Sometimes like soccer or softball
What weekend is
tournaments.
it?
The 24th and 25th.
No. Oh, in terms of soccer, I don't know that.
Is there anything for horseshoes?
I can find out for some.
There's nothing for horseshoes.
Volleyball?
I have nothing for volleyball.
There was a tournament this weekend. Okay, those are the main, and we don't know about pickleball yet. But, so those are the main areas around here. We just need to check with baseball and soccer.
It looks like horseshoes and volleyball and their tournaments in July.
Why don't I do this? Why don't I reach out to all
Nothing
the
for August.
All the groups.
clubs and say,
Okay.
don't forget about Tri-Fest.
All right.
It's easier that way. Then we
Yep.
know. Okay?
Yeah.
So, right.
We'll let you know. We'll let you
As
know.
far as we know.
As far as you know, no.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that.
So to
Tim.
get back to answer your question, Tim, you pay per game for the game. You pay an extra fee per game.
Oh, we did, okay.
Yeah.
I was not wholly involved.
It went various different ways. There was only like 1 or 2 years that you actually played all your games here.
Okay.
You used to play over at the high school.
Yeah, I guess a while back we did.
Right, and then, well,
And
for a
some
long
games were at
time.
Bow Colony, some games were here.
Yeah, so, yeah, for a long time, and then what would happen is if it rained,
Yeah.
the high school wouldn't let you play over there.
Yeah.
So you play over here.
Okay.
So the games were really a totally separate thing.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
We're just talking about
Practice.
practice, and I honestly wasn't aware that you weren't using Fridays.
So, yeah,
All through August, you're every night, I thought you were every night.
So you're right, yeah, and so September is when we start doing Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but you're right, in August we are here, many nights, I'm not exactly sure what the dates that we start.
So, I have a question. Is part of the challenge that they're on that one space continuously? What if they bounced around to a couple different?
That's, we've asked that in past
Well, I
years.
know the lights were a challenge,
I
but
don't
do you
know,
need
but
lights?
there's, I mean, you're really down to like 3 groups, right? It's
So-
3 groups that practice together?
We're 3 groups, I mean, I'm open to suggestions, I
Yeah.
don't want,
Yeah.
you know, just say we gotta practice here, because, you know, the light thing, doesn't come into play in August so much, right?
No, it doesn't.
You know, that's more probably mid-September and on, but yeah, we're mainly 3 groups, it's mites, midgets, and peewees, not that it matters, right? But,
Right, well, it's different from what it used to be, like when my son played, it was A through C, you know, so
Oh,
they were in, you know,
Okay.
multiple different areas.
So if you
It
did it,
also
so
had
just,
more room because the field 2
Didn't have the fence.
Didn't have a fence there, so.
right, so that's my question is if they can go somewhere in August, it would save the fields.
Well, I think they need to come here in August.
See, just to
That's
give you a
nice.
little history, the original agreement with football, before any of us here were on this board,
Yeah.
but the original agreement was not only were they to pay per head,
Yeah.
but they were to donate seed and the cost of top dressing the field.
Okay.
And we did the work, but just, you know, so
So I was
they,
on when they did that, yeah.
And when you say top dress,
And they did it. They did that for years.
Soil?
yeah, I mean, you know, it was a couple of loads of loom, you know, I mean, we're not talking about top dressing all the ball fields, we're just
Sure.
talking about those areas that needed it, and then reseed it every fall, so that it would come back in the spring, and by the time you played again, there'd be some grass.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
the
You know,
grass is nice up there now.
Yeah. Hard to get grass.
Yeah,
And-
this year we didn't have to use a lot of loam, it was mostly just, we slice seeded it.
Right, mixed
and then
labor
came
and
back
seed,
fertilized it,
right,
yeah.
right.
But it was
But-
about $2,500.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get grass to grow on our own field, so I feel your pain, so to speak, you know, we slice seed, fertilize, and all that kind of stuff. It's
Yep.
not easy to.
Yeah. Well, so I guess.
No, but
I guess-
what my original question was, can you practice in multiple spaces? I know it's not as convenient, but
Yeah, I mean.
does that help
I mean,
offload the field beat up?
I don't know
Wait, there's still-
where else they would.
Well, I mean, just to move. I mean, you know, creatures of habit. Everybody goes to the same spot, you know what I mean? And that's just what they do. And the coaches say, well, we're gonna meet right here. I know, my child played, you know, and you know, we did it for all sports.
Everybody knows, okay, the midgets meet over
Right.
here, they're like, yeah.
Right.
So I mean, if that helps.
You know, what we're talking about is, okay, meet here, and then even
Or
if they
just
move 20 yards,
Yeah.
you know, so they're not in that,
Yeah, I mean,
pounding that same,
each team is about 30 kids, roughly, you know, give or take, you know.
Right.
They balance out to about 30 kids, so we just need
It's not
space
great
enough
area
to
anymore.
spread them out and, you know, have a few different group, you know, have a couple different groups, you know, offense, defense, and,
Yeah.
you know, usually 2 groups within each one of those, but, you know,
What about behind field 3? If they don't need the lights, there's a lot of grass back there. And it's not
There
really
is.
critical, because that would be the only thing out there. And I don't know, you're not doing lacrosse out there in the fall?
I don't think so, unless they do like a camp or something.
Okay, so Justin was just mentioning there are other spots in the complex that you might be able to
okay.
spread it out and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very reasonable, I don't know.
we're just trying to save the grass and save a few bucks.
Yeah, no, yeah, I have big taxes in this town, so, you know.
I wish the taxes helped us.
They
We
don't-
don't get any tax money.
No, nothing at all?
Nothing, no.
Really? Okay.
That's
So
part of the problem.
why- that's part of the problem.
Okay, all right, I assumed, I
Yeah.
don't know, but.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah, yes, you know,
No, we're an enterprise fund, so we have to generate all our fees.
okay, all right,
So, you know, when Justin says that the fees we collect,
yeah,
it barely pays for that, and
Yeah.
it doesn't pay for the guy to mow the grass.
yeah, understood, yeah.
You know, it just,
Yeah, we're in the same boat,
yeah, no,
So maybe what we can do as a next step is if you wanna, so when do you start? Probably August something, right?
August, yeah, 5th-ish,
first week in August usually, yeah.
6th,
Wanna give
August
them
5th,
the
Monday,
fifth,
that's probably the first day.
Or behind
I'd have to
three?
look at the calendar, be sure, but
Which
that's
is the
probably
next
the first
step,
day.
Right, it's usually that first week in August
Yeah,
sometime.
first full week in August.
Yeah, so maybe what we can do is meet down here at any time. I know it's hard to get away, but if we
Yeah.
can meet down here, we walk the spaces and say, hey, this, because you know,
Sure.
5 and 3 are places that aren't really
Yeah.
used that much.
Yeah,
It's good grass, because
Yeah.
it's not used that much,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a
Yeah.
good open space.
Totally, yeah. I don't have any, I don't have any problems with it,
Yeah, and if you're shuttling people around too, it's kind of like you just go along the tree line and you're
Yeah,
there.
we can make a little rotation schedule
Yeah.
and figure it out and whatnot.
Yeah,
It would be great.
I might have to whip a few coaches to get them to listen, but,
Yeah,
I think they'll come around.
Yeah.
But that plus that not Friday nights probably would make a difference.
It will, there's no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, but, we've been doing that for a couple of years, so I mean, I know we're pretty rough. I mean, at the end of the season, I see the grass out there and whatnot. I mean, baseball doesn't beat up the outfields the way we do.
Yeah. So I'll give you my contact info,
Okay.
or I'll take yours. I guess it's on the sheet, right?
Yeah, so.
Is your cell on the sheet?
My cell, yeah, it is right here.
All right, I'll text you my info,
Okay.
and then we'll just figure out a time. I live a mile from here, so
Okay.
I work from home, so really.
Yeah, so I do the same. I'm home most days of the week.
All right, cool. So we can meet them some random day, walk it out, see what makes sense.
I'm on vacation next weekend, but after that.
Okay. There's probably more space behind 3 than there is in the spot that they use.
There's more room behind 3 than there is behind 2 because of the fencing now.
I don't really know which field.
Yeah.
But
When you come
Field
out here,
3 is the Little League field with the lights on it.
that's field 3.
over here, okay.
So if you go beyond the fence,
Yeah.
there's a big chunk of grass out there.
Okay, yeah.
And if you look at the fields, field 1 is the big field, the all-purpose field.
Yes,
Field
yeah.
2 is the one to the right where the fencing is now in the outfield.
Okay, yeah, I know.
That's field 2.
Yeah.
Field 3 is the Little League field behind it with the lights.
Okay,
And
yeah.
field 4 is the Babe Ruth field down back. But there's a whole spot, we cleared a whole spot big enough for a lacrosse field.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
can
out
use
behind the
lacrosse
batting
field.
cages.
But that's the outfield of field 5, which is like a
Yeah.
T-ball,
Okay.
But it's
So you don't
fine.
need to go to that.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's kind of like Candlestick's got like a little bit of the infield in it, and
Yeah, okay.
but it's fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we can make that work. I mean, we want to work with you guys.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll text you. I'll
Yeah.
text you my info. We'll meet down here, walk it, and see what works.
Awesome. Sounds
Great.
good.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
If you got any questions or anything, just reach out.
Okay, I will. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Moving right along.
So we're still in the hole on that. Do you want me to still bring it up?
I'm sorry?
We're still in the hole for last year, though.
Yeah,
Do we just bring it up again?
it can't hurt. Maybe they'll give us a donation.
Yeah.
I think you seriously have to look at it, not losing money next year though. I mean, you might move it on fields, but you might be moving a problem around too.
Yeah.
More fields to seed now, more
Yeah,
areas.
but we wouldn't see behind 3 though. It's not a real field.
Yeah, but you don't want to
It's
move
just
it
the
either,
supplies,
further
just stuff
down the
down.
road
You don't
possibly,
want
so you don't want to destroy it either.
No, I agree.
Like I think they can pick up big,
Might
big
be
shit
now.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Might be now?
With some stuff went in there
Oh, well.
from this pack.
Oh, well, okay. All right, so Nellie's gonna pass around the bills. Is everybody reading the minutes? How are we doing on the minutes?
I just want to say that when I ran the meeting, it was an hour long.
Yeah, well, you didn't have anything. I saw the agenda. There was nothing on it.
That's not my fault.
Moving
You know,
along.
you play the teams that.
Hey, Joe,
Well, Heinz schedule right now.
No, we're not. We're right on schedule. Right on schedule. 7:28. We haven't get to Clear Pond Park, and that's at 7:30. So if Nellie passes along the bills while we're reading the minutes. Yeah, you didn't have to approve any minutes in the last meeting either, so.
I didn't. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
See, I don't have to read the minutes. I wasn't here.
Closer to the minutes you were.
I know. I know. That's pretty good. Before you pass them out, Nellie, can I see them? I just want to look and see where they're going.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I don't look at them.
I tried to fit in.
No, I know.
Where I could.
Okay.
You guys good? You haven't changed.
Actually, the one I read on the computer had your name, but your name's not.
Yeah, because I sent her back a thing and said, I wasn't there.
You signed right there.
What am I saying?
That's your reimbursement for the laminator.
Oh, cool. There you go.
Thank you.
It wasn't 30, it was like 28 or something. Does it matter?
Same.
I don't care.
I had done it.
You don't get
before
paid for
you
sales
sent
tax,
it.
sorry.
No.
Oh,
it's-
yeah, 28.99. Yeah, just cross it out. I'll put it on the stamp that it's 28.99.
Cross it out and name it out.
Yeah, that's fine.
28.99.
Hey, On, page, oops, sorry,
Nope, go ahead.
page 3, on the Ted Williams camp updates.
Let me grab that. Page 3. Yes, okay.
Second sentence says the current mower is having a starting issue. It was a Massey Ferguson tractor.
It's a tractor.
It's having starting issues. Nice sentence.
Tractor.
No, that doesn't. I was just, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you will be signing that.
All right.
Okay. I updated that.
So Nellie, on these bills, like for the lights and the concession stand, right, you keep track of those
Yes.
as we go along, because those are reimbursable. All right.
Oh, you mean
The
for
concession stand
the,
out here.
for this
along
one?
with-
Yeah,
along with the
they get
lights.
charged, yeah.
Right, I'm just,
Yeah.
so this is something big. So those are the lights. That's the lights on the street.
Any bills?
Just
Wait.
sign your own.
That's it?
No, Scott's got the rest.
Oh.
So I was just gonna put them in the back. These are just the reimbursements for everybody. Taxes in there, right?
For AIDS, this was, this is Ted Williams Camp. $250? For here? No?
For this one, yeah.
Oh, so much? How many times do they come?
They come once a week. That's why.
How are we doing in the minutes?
Okay.
Oh, there's Mike.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 24th. Did you, with the change?
Yep.
Yep,
The
all
changes
set.
mentioned?
Second.
All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Minutes have passed. Okay, so Clear Pond Park, general updates.
Let's see, we did the mosquito spraying on the 27th. The parking lot is dried up now, it's no longer muddy. It's like cement now, it baked all week.
Did the highway department do anything?
No, we haven't got the rocks yet, they wanted to wait for the mud to dry. So yeah, I could take the gravel now. Whenever they're ready.
Yeah, I asked him just to get a ballpark. He thought that the stone would be somewhere in the vicinity of $500–600. I was just talking to him about another issue, and I asked him.
If they do it now, does it save it from having this problem next spring? It must, right?
I mean, we've had more rain than this before and never had this problem before. That's what's,
Yeah,
don't know.
even the year that it was up over the water,
Right.
the pond.
right, it was over the street.
Over
We
the
didn't have this
street.
problem.
It wasn't this bad. No idea why it's like that.
That opening weekend, it was,
Oh, I saw it.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I saw it.
But would it save that though? It would, right? The stone would give it some structure. Like the gas.
I would think it would.
Yeah, that was, the word he used, he said it would like bind it, help to bind it. But I think, you really kind of think you're gonna wait till the fall now, till you closed, and I would think. Unless we get like a monsoon.
And then they're not gonna wanna put it down if it's wet.
Right. When I went there on Sunday, you know, it had rained a little bit on Saturday night, so that water, it pooled up on there, it wasn't absorbing at all. It wasn't turning to mud, it was just
Well, stone will help it
Yeah.
to drain.
Yeah. I mean, we put no money in the clear pond, right, do we?
No, there's some expenses, yeah.
Is it?
They redid they recovered the raft, and then when they took the jumping platform off to put new carpet on, not carpet, but, it found that wood was all rotted at the base, so they had to rebuild, so I mean, there's a little money, not
Based
not a
on what
lot.
it makes though?
No, I know.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make anything. It doesn't net anything, Justin. It nets a loss.
Come on. Clear pond?
The payroll alone,
We lose money in clear pond?
not like we do in other areas, but I mean, it's close to a break even.
Wow,
It's
okay.
getting better.
Okay.
It's not a
We raised the
positive.
rates this year, but
Yeah, so. hopefully-
interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, if you think about payroll. Okay. Never mind.
But there again, I mean, that doesn't mean we shouldn't not do something if it needs to be done. And I guess that's the question here. Does the board feel we need to, have them tell him to go ahead with the project and we're gonna pay for $500 or $600 worth of stone when he can do it? I have no problem with that. It's just what the board feels.
And how long would it take him to do it? You can just do it in a quick morning, or does it take all day? or-
Well, that would have to be coordinated.
Right, because they're
And
gonna,
I'm sure, between Franklin and Doug and yourself, I don't know if they could do it in one.
I mean, if they start first thing, those guys start work at, 7:15. So, I mean, they could have a good chunk of it done before anybody gets there,
But I guess my question is, does it really need it though? I mean, at one time, it flooded, didn't flood any of the years that we know of.
that I can
I mean,
remember.
do we know what the cause was? The water's up still awfully high right now, right? I mean, so it's not staying flooded, it drained and all that stuff there. Is there a special cause why it flooded? And, the rocks could flood too if we put rocks down, if it's still something else causing it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the answer or not. It's dry now, I guess.
Yeah, I think of the way that it's become cement now, or almost like cement, I don't think there will be an immediate issue. Maybe over time it'll happen again and then possibly revisit it then, but.
So we could wait and do it in the fall too.
Yeah, if you wait till they close, then the time getting in and out, there's no issue.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'll be an immediate issue now.
Yeah. And we didn't budget for it anyway, did we?
We didn't, but $500 or $600 isn't.
Yeah.
I asked Doug how they made out on July 4th with all the parking and everything. I guess the people were parking up in the industrial park. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's how it's
shuttling down. Well, I don't think we weren't driving them down, but people were leaving their cars up there. Good idea.
I know the guy across the street put a sign in his driveway, no parking, you see that?
Yeah,
I
It's in front of
don't
parking there.
I don't blame them, because that was a problem a few years ago. People were trying to park over there, and they shouldn't be.
Plus, it's dangerous too with people crossing the street
Yeah,
there and
absolutely.
everything. Right.
Okay, maybe we shelf it? What do you think? It's your,
Yeah, I say we shelve it. If it comes
See how
up
the
as an
season
issue
goes,
again,
then we definitely do it in the fall, and otherwise we take it up in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, it cleared up after, a week or so, and hopefully it just doesn't get that bad again.
Okay,
all right, cool.
all right.
Doug also mentioned sand, getting sand over there. I know he mentioned it at another meeting.
Yep.
We were talking today and he asked
Yep.
me to bring it up again, if it's in the budget, to go ahead and do that.
Sounds like it.
Okay. I don't know how much that costs or what the whole to-do is, so.
That's, how do I want to say it? Where we've got it in the past, they would come in and have a function.
Gotcha.
But that doesn't mean we can't order a couple of loads of sand, but the thing is, we gotta get the water down first.
That's what I was saying, would you do it with the water so high? It's like, it's really up there,
Yeah,
right?
So,
Yeah.
They'd be dumping it in the
That's what I was
water
thinking.
right now.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, the water's gotta go down a little bit
Before
for
you
us
can do
to
that.
bring in more sand anyhow.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, it's something that normally happens every 2 to 3 years,
Okay.
that we get sand as needed. It's not necessarily a budgeted item. But, you know, as the water goes down a little bit, we can definitely entertain getting some sand. I mean,
What does sand cost?
whatever the going rate is, we can find out. Someone can call over to, I'm just trying to think, they're gonna wanna bring it in the biggest truck possible, one load, save delivery charge.
Then we're gonna get the highway over to spread it.
What about the kids?
Kids,
The kids?
yeah,
With a wheelbarrow and shovels?
yep,
Yeah.
Good for them.
You don't want to do it.
yep. Rakes, big landscaping rakes.
Yeah, but how many hours gonna put in? You just talked about, we're losing money there.
There anyway.
Yeah, they're there anyway, right?
They're there anyhow.
That's their break time. They can spread sand.
They were paying for doing nothing then.
No, no, nothing.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna tackle a massive pile of sand, it's not gonna impact anything, they're doing nothing.
Tell little kids to go play in it, they'll push it down in no time.
Yeah.
Before grass starts growing out of it.
All right, anything else?
That's all I got.
You gotta get the water down first.
Water down first. I will let him down. Oh, the close date was the 25th, right? The Sunday? That's what I had in my note.
I don't know, whatever it may be.
I thought that we said
That's what
that it was the
it was, yeah.
25th, right? That's right, okay. Doug was just confirming, because there's somebody who wants to have a party on that last day.
Oh,
So it's like, oh, well, that's fun, okay. So, yeah, I think it was the 25th, all right.
that's a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense?
They probably won't have the dock out if they're gonna have a party, because they usually get the dock in
In early, so they can be done.
at least on the Saturday. I mean, I can remember as a kid, Dougie would look around, or Peter would look around, and they'd go, all right, we got a bunch of people here, let's go! And, you know, swim it in, put it up on blocks, because you got, you know, 25 guys hanging around swimming, and that's how we always did it. You know?
Good time.
It's hit or miss, you know, it could even be the week before, you know, the dock could be in. It's when you get the manpower.
Yeah. Oh, did anybody see the commercial? There is
So I
a
was
Clear
supposed to, I
Pond
haven't
Park
been able to watch
commercial.
it yet.
What commercial?
There's a commercial.
For Clear Pond?
Yeah. Doug posted it on Lakeville, Helping Lakeville.
2 hours ago, maybe.
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
just did it, okay.
Yeah, I can pull it up on my phone at the end of the meeting, or on the computer and show you guys what it is. I guess it must have been the sports
Oh, yeah.
people that were there on Sunday?
Anybody made it
Yeah.
on Sunday?
I didn't get this, I was on the Cape.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it either.
Yeah, I wasn't here either, but I think it was them that
Yeah, it
put it
was,
together.
4 Deep Sports.
40
Yes.
Sports was there.
That's it.
From 1 to 2, going over the camp and the park and cool.
They put together a little commercial.
Great.
Nice.
It's cute.
So it
Okay,
didn't cost us anything.
even better, see, there you go. SEM Loon Pond Lodge updates.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank our Park Commission plumber, Scott Holmes, who took care of the bathroom faucets with both the men's and ladies' room. We got a call that they weren't, two in the men's and one
2 in the ladies' room and 1 in the men's room.
Yeah.
And they were panicking because they had a Sweet 16 party the next day.
So Scott used the power of Google.
With the help of my very able assistant, Nellie.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
That's it
Nellie
for a
happened to
little
pop in, I had just given up.
Journeyman.
What was wrong with it? Just needed to be.
What it was, you've got the spigot coming out, okay? And there's a set screw in the back, which I undid based on looking at the model that I thought we had.
Yeah.
And then on the side, there's a hot and cold switch, and there's, the guy on the phone told me there's another set screw in there. Well, I'm reaching in there and I got my Allen wrenches and I can't get the set screw to work. It's not popping into anything. I got the tiny, tiny, tiny one, you know, and it's not working. And then we Googled it, and we Googled that model and it still didn't say. And then I slid it over and I says, you know what, it looks like this one, but it was a whole different name. And it says, no, push into that and it pops off. So I went, wait a minute. I pushed in, popped off, the whole thing came off. We had the battery changed in 2 minutes.
Cool.
So once we
Oh, 'cause
figured out how to
his
do
battery
it,
outdated.
you know, once we figured out how to do it, had the other two changed in 15 minutes.
Nice.
Cool. So, it was kind of funny. I just put all my tools away and they came, oh, what are you doing?
So we kept on going.
So we kept going. So it worked out. So we were able to change them out, and I got the batteries, and I'm just gonna change the other three, so they're all changed at the same time.
Good idea.
I printed out, this is what it looks like, but that's not the one it is. So I printed out the new one, and then I printed out a little schedule of dates of when things are gonna be replaced and when they have been replaced, in all the batteries, in all the urinals and the toilets and the sinks. So it's something that we have in the office, and it's got all the diagrams and everything. So, cool. Yeah,
Well,
so that's all set.
Great job, thank you. The only other thing on SEM that I have was we had a little bit of a communication problem this weekend. And part of it was my fault because I looked at the schedule and I saw all the stuff on Saturday and I totally missed where the little thing here says place wedding on Friday. Didn't have a time, but regardless, I should have known. I had talked to Mike and Linda before they left about making sure that there was coverage here. And then I came over here and I talked to Laurie from SEM and I gave her Joe Resendi's phone number in case there was any emergencies. Apparently, Sarah was doing the wedding and noticed that the hadn't been this grass around here hadn't been mowed, which would be something that would normally be done by Bobby. Scott just told me today that Bobby has some sort of an emergency. It's kind of a shame because I was here on Friday and Joe was here on Friday. We could have easily done it if we knew that there was an issue, but my point being, communication didn't happen. They called to try to get a hold of Joe, and he was of course on a machine or something, he didn't hear it. And then they called Doug immediately. They didn't call me, they didn't call Scott, they didn't call anybody else on the commission. So I'm going to contact them with permission of you guys, and try to give them a list of who gets called first.
Sure.
I mean, that's my job,
Right.
overseeing the lodge, and
Right.
it's just kind of a shame because I was here.
It is, and like I said to you earlier, I think part of it is a case of, in the past, the phone call would be made and there'd be no response.
Right. Well,
No, I know it's a whole different thing, and I know that you're gonna respond one way or another, or you're gonna get someone to get down here and take care of it, I know that, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that's not an excuse for them to not to call you.
yeah.
Because they've been informed that you're the liaison.
I'm not trying to blame her or anything else.
No.
It's just something like this happens, you want to correct it.
Communication, it's
Yeah.
huge, and that wasn't the only issue this weekend, so.
She sent this big long, text to Scott and I, and both of us were like,
After the
"What?
fact.
What?"
After she got Dougie down here, and, it's like, I'm like, I would've come down and started the lawnmower, I mean, if this,
Yeah.
he'd be,
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I'm thinking like, they should call me first, you second, and then, you should have a whole list of all of the commissioners.
Right.
And then if nobody responds and there's an actual emergency, then she can call Doug, I guess. But, Doug is that's not his job.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was nice that he came down and did it, but it's really not his job. You also mentioned the moving of the chairs. I'm sure he helped to move the chairs too, which we need to find out what exactly the miscommunication is there as far as whose job it is to move chairs.
What chairs in here?
For
Chairs
outdoor
the
weddings,
outside weddings.
Oh.
a little plastic, because,
We were renting them.
right, we rent them out. We rent them out for
Why wouldn't
weddings.
they set it up? SEM.
Well, that's the question. We were nice enough last summer to supply some of the kids to come and help,
Got it. Okay.
so now it's expected.
Yeah, I got it.
There's a couple things for me to get in touch with Nikki.
Because they weren't putting them away. I had to twice send a text to say, please put them indoors. They were leaving them outdoors in the rain.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's all I have for SEM and Loon Pond Lodge.
Okay, Ted Williams Camp updates?
All right. Following along Jesse's example, I also got a hold of Plymouth County Mosquito Control, and they are coming tonight, or I should say tomorrow morning at 2 a.m.
Great.
to do this.
Nice. Has it been bad? Hasn't been bad here, has it?
I'm not sure how often we can get them to come here. I know residentially, they come once a month.
Yeah.
But I think we can have them come more often than that, if they're a problem. I'm just,
Yeah, I don't, it was the oddest thing. I mean, you know how many times we've tried to get a hold of them.
I know.
Jesse said, well, I just called them, they picked up the phone. Well, I just called them and they picked up the phone.
Yeah,
She's like, yeah, we'll schedule it, we'll send you an email.
I had a terrible time last year.
Me too.
I actually had to get a different personal number from somebody else that knew the direct contact to be like, I just need you guys to call me.
Yeah, she's like, no problem. No problem, we'll email you when we're coming. Well, I got an email today. They're coming tonight, so.
Nice.
Cool. All right, as far as equipment, last month's notes mentioned that Matthew Ferguson.
Sign up first.
you can just, because it's going to these accounts, so you can just sign the first one, someone can sign the second one, someone can sign the third one.
Oh, is that one not stamped?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, if you sign
So,
on the
yeah, that
side,
line,
that's
yep,
perfectly fine.
Anywhere, yep.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
Okay,
sorry.
as far as last month's meeting minutes referred to the Massey Ferguson was not running. So the town mechanic just got it fixed, it's back today. It needed a new alternator and starter, so we'll be getting a bill for those parts. But they covered them.
No, 2 or 3 signatures? 3?
Three.
Great.
The only thing else I have here is, I happened to be going through one night and I noticed that somebody was pulling a boat out of Loon Pond, and it was a regular motorized fishing boat, had a motor on it, which I've never seen anybody put a motor, other than just a little, like an electric one or something like that. So I don't know if that's an issue or not. I don't know. Should we,
Gas powered motor.
yeah.
Is there any restrictions
Is
against
that,
it?
has that been a restriction in the past? No gas powered or?
I don't think we've had the issue.
We don't really own the pond.
Yeah.
Right,
do
but,
own
but we are allowing access from the camp. I mean, I've never seen a motorized engine out there. I've seen an electric motor out there several times, but I've never seen a gas powered motor on a
Yeah,
boat.
this was a regular fishing boat, like a 14 or 16 foot fishing boat.
Like a little
with a
bass
trailer
boat.
and everything.
Like a bass boat, little bass
A
boat.
little bass boat, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that unless people complain to live along the
Right.
pond,
Yeah, that makes sense.
they have an issue with it, it's just,
The noise or whatever,
yeah.
the weight.
Well, yeah, and also, I don't know what the conservation issue is, with a motorized, I don't know, what the restrictions on that pond are.
Well, it's not a watershed, right? So you can do whatever.
I don't know. I guess I can look into it. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I know, well, anyway, I just wanted to note that at some point we may have to put a sign up or something that says,
Yeah.
no motorized boats.
Cool.
That's it, that's all I had.
To add to Ted Williams Camp updates, and your comment from a few minutes ago regarding communication. There was another lapse in communication this past weekend. The bathrooms on the other end of the karate building were open 24/7 this whole weekend. I was informed that on Saturday night because somebody I know had to stop and use it. And then last night when I was coming home from the fireworks in Onset, I drive through like I always drive through, no matter what time it is. I was checking to see if the timer was working, which it wasn't. And I says, geez, and I swung by the bathroom and they were wide open at 11:30. So I reached out to, and I know Linda wasn't here this weekend, but I reached out to both Linda and John Miranda, and said we need better communication. I wasn't getting mad at anyone. I was just saying, if someone's not gonna be away, just let the other person know, because they usually control, buttoning them up. John usually does it at night, Linda will do it in the morning, or vice versa. And John says, well, I thought I saw Linda's car here, but it wasn't Linda's car, it was somebody from softball has the same car. So anyhow, I reached out to both of them, talked to them, and just said, you know what, when you leave here, lock them up. Well, there were people there. I know, but unless you want to come back at 11:30 and lock them up, lock them up. I mean, that's what I thought we were leaving these little bathrooms open for, and not those. And that's what I said to both Linda and John. I said, I can deal with something happening to these little bathrooms. I don't want someone in there raising holy heck.
Yeah.
It could cost
Now,
us a lot.
yesterday, the little ones were locked.
These have been locked.
Yeah.
I know, because I then came over here and these were locked.
Right.
So I said that to Linda, I said, well, leave them open, I mean. But anyhow, so these are the little things. And I forgot what the other thing was. One of the timers is not working. I've let Nate know. I know Mike has let Nate know. And I'm dropping him keys tomorrow morning. So hopefully we'll get the volleyball timer is not, the time of day is not working. It's just not working. So, that being said, hopefully they will.
Yeah, when you said Nate, you just made me remember.
Yep.
Who else was it? No, I remember that I forgot.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
What else was he doing?
Something else?
He doesn't want.
Oh, the septic system here.
Oh, yeah, how about that? Yeah.
I don't know.
He told me last year that he was going to put it on.
Right, and I talked to him twice this year about it.
Yeah.
So.
And it still hasn't been done from last year.
Yeah. I want to take care of it before we have a problem.
Yes. I mean, because we're right in the middle of
Wedding season, right?
wedding season. So we don't want to be.
Reimbursing people.
Exactly.
All right, so I'll call him on that also tomorrow.
Yeah, and in the same token, unless they did it, they should probably do the grease traps. The grease traps, we only get charged for what they take out.
Right.
So we can have them come 3-4 times a year. It doesn't matter if there's $10 worth, they only charge. It's a good deal. Whereas
There's no service call price at all?
I believe it's just for the amount they take out. At least that's what I was told last year by Nate. But as far as the septic system, that's a fee. I mean, it's gonna be so much plus so much gallons.
I just need to, he's, very, very busy person.
Oh, no, I know he is, and but yeah, we gotta get that on a schedule.
Yeah,
Definitely gotta get that on a schedule.
okay.
Cool.
Okay,
Sports?
all right, sports season in
All right.
general?
Yep, so I have a bunch of updates. So, first and foremost, I've got a laminator. We now have a laminator in the office.
Great.
I did a little test run for July, so this is kind of, unfortunately, there's not a lot of stuff going on in the baseball fields.
Yep.
This is an example of what I think we should have for Linda. So right now, I'm just texting Linda every weekend.
Yep.
But she can look and say, okay, I gotta be here Saturday for a 5 o'clock game, whatever, right? So, really not that effective this year, but next year it'll, like May and June would be
And
great.
the thing is, the way you gotta limit, you can add something to it at any time, like the race board.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we use these, no, this is great, and it's something
So-
we can put in the office.
So the next step for me is I need to get the non-baseball field, so pickleball, I'll get a schedule up, maybe volleyball, maybe post it somewhere, who knows how long they might just rip it down, but.
Did you know there was a tournament this weekend, Nellie?
It's on
Okay.
my calendar.
Yep. So that's the point, we should have it in one place instead of looking at contracts and looking at.
Oh, absolutely.
So
No.
It's been on my to-do list, so I need to do that, but this was a good first step just to have it done.
Doing a good job.
And, and that's more for Linda and Mike, but.
Right.
That's that. Then pickleball, I did walk through with pickleball on the 26th. I'm looking at my notes. So a couple things. What they want to do, so this is what they wanted to do. They want to put in a permanent structure. So it's a longer story here, but they want to put in a permanent structure, which would entail like a 2x2 square, take it out, put something in that's flush, and then they can kind of use it in and out. So we said, okay, fine. And the reality is it actually cost them about $500. They'd have to get new nets, right? Because their nets right now are non-permanent, so they'd have to buy new nets. So basically, after all of that back and forth, there was a lot of discussion. He said, I'm not really sure we really want to do this. It's going to be really expensive unless it was a real permanent structure. So we got into a longer discussion, and one of the things that was an interesting discussion was this, right now I think the general problem is that everything is all three spaces, all three tennis courts are multi-purpose. There's a lot of lines and it's confusing, and some are new lines, some are old lines. So one of the things that I was thinking about as an option is, what if, just as an idea, what if we got rid of one tennis court completely? Mm-hmm. Now that actually gives you space, and what they would be able to do is to do the pickleball courts the opposite way, the sideways. So they could put in
3 courts.
It's actually 6. Going where the tennis court is now, they can turn them sideways and put them in that way. Make sense?
If it's 6
Three on
courts
either
and
side
one
of the
tennis-
net?
Yeah, because you have space between where the tennis court is, and what they're really limited right now is the permanent structure of the tennis nets.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they can't do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking out loud here, doing it that way allows them to have that space. You could do maybe one multi-purpose, and then the other one is completely tennis,
Mm-hmm.
nothing else on it.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to get everybody's take on that. That it takes away confusion. There's at least 2 tennis courts at all times,
Mhm.
and it's kind of a split the baby kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that's, in theory, that's what we asked them to do, was we allowed them to paint the first court.
Right. The problem is they need 6 spaces.
I understand. And then outline the middle court and not do anything to the first court,
Right.
and then they painted them all.
Understand. So I think the point is that if it becomes a permanent structure, they would really not use any of the tennis space. They wouldn't need it anymore. Maybe if there was a tournament and they needed the extra multi-purpose space, but you're pretty much, by going down this path, you're pretty much guaranteeing 2 tennis courts, if you think about it.
Yeah, because what you do is you put tennis court on the first court, what I call the first court, coming in this way.
Yep.
The second court, you put tennis court, and then you put a dotted line
Sure, yeah.
for the pickleball.
Yeah, and that's really just for tournaments and random things they have to do, but for the most part, they'd be able to get away with just having that third space. So, and again, there's obviously a cost in all of this, so it's not anything. And then the other thing was, we started to talk about it, and a lot of this has to do with resurfacing the whole tennis court, right? So what I told him was that, just like with the fields on 18, when it comes time to, because he's asking all these requests, and like the way we do it is, when we decided there's a budgeted project for resurfacing this area, we get it budgeted, we get the money, and then we might do a subcommittee where maybe tennis comes in, maybe pickleball comes in, then we figure these things out where we want to put stuff. So just something to think about, that we might be able to, right now it's not a problem, but probably we want to paint those tennis lines, and then now we're into a discussion of how much money do we want to spend, if we're going to resurface it anyway at some point, so it's just a lot of things. He was pretty open to really whatever works, I think I think they just want their own space, honestly.
Right, I think the first thing that needs to be done is the money needs to be put into resurfacing, or at least repainting.
Yep.
If it means patching and then repainting, then that's what we do.
Yep.
Until we can afford to fully resurface it.
Yep.
Before they put in any permanent structures, to me, that's the first thing that needs to be done.
So that's the thing, by the way. So if you think about it, the reason he does, so long story short, is he actually doesn't want to put the permanent structures in, because what's the point of putting them in and spending $500 when they have to move them anyway?
Yeah.
Eventually. I mean, even if it's a couple of years down the road, right? So I think basically the short answer is, he's not looking to put anything permanent now, but if we do resurface, it would make sense to potentially put something in permanent that was dedicated, which I think is fair. So that was a lot of back and forth, but generally it was a pretty positive conversation. Do you have any questions? It's just semantics.
No, but I know
Space.
when we talked about last time, so they took liberties, I guess, the first time, being them all anyway, so I just.
Yeah, there's a huge history there, but the other thing that really helps is that they now have dedicated space. So they were asking for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 8:30 to noon, which is 3.5 hours. That's what their request is.
I think they just need to leave the tennis court open.
Correct. I don't think the tennis court's even painted, is it? The first one?
Well, it's the old paint from probably 20 years ago.
No, is it all 3 are pickleball?
Oh, they painted pickleball courts on all
I
3.
can't remember. Okay. Yeah. So that's the other thing is, if we're going to paint, we can do things like repaint a tennis court if we want to, right? And he even said that he doesn't use it for anything. It's like a training space or something, which is completely optional.
So, the first court,
the first court.
they play on it.
Okay.
When I drive through, they're playing on it.
So
How many courts do they have now?
They have 6. They have,
we basically
The three tennis courts?
One on each side.
6, okay. And he's gonna put 6 on one tennis court?
if you take out the
I think
nets.
it's 4. It's something like 4 or 5, and then you would have a multi-purpose in the middle potentially, which would be whatever dotted or whatever we want. I don't think they use 6 all the time. I think they use 6
So on the busy
sometimes.
days, Saturday mornings, and during the week, you know, when I drive through 9:30, they're playing, they got all of them being used.
Okay.
Or most of them being used,
Yeah.
you know, which is fine, I mean, you know, but we just also have to, you know, we've got people that want to play tennis and should be able to play tennis and
Yeah.
when they can't get on it.
So we need to, as a group, decide what we, well, I mean, I can just make a decision, but we can decide what we want them to, 'cause they are paying, right? So what's fair, what's the amount of space that they want, and then post it, and then there's no more problems. I don't think there's been a problem yet this year, but
None. Well, because people have been coming down and play on Saturday mornings, who always did play on Saturday mornings, and now all of a sudden we've given them the time on Saturday mornings and they were using all 3 courts.
so we can say, you know, you use these courts on Saturday.
Right,
First of all, you start with naming the courts, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
You'd say courts 1, 2, and 3, whatever, 8:30 to noon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, courts 2 and 3, right, whatever we want.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, we've got to tell them what we'll give them.
Exactly, and then we'll post it. So, we should make a decision like now.
Yeah.
If we can. So, does anybody have any, I mean, I agree, we want to leave things open, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, that's the whole thing is like, when Joe asked, we gave them, in a sense, gave them the far field, the far court, court number, let's call it court number 3, the closest one to the senior center. And we said, go ahead, you can paint that one. You know, I mean, if we're gonna let them paint it, let's take out the net and then they can add a court if they wanna add a court.
They could put in 2 more.
If they can put in 2 more, then I think that's when they stay off of court 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just, yeah, I mean, that way,
And take it
tennis
down.
players will know that they can come and still play at any time, even though they're scheduled to play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So it's both. I mean, I was thinking about now, like, before we do anything, we still need to put a schedule in.
Yeah. I mean, that's my feeling on it. I mean,
Okay,
there
no,
were
it makes
tennis
sense.
courts
So-
before, and I think they should still be.
So I'm gonna say that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all 3 courts, they can use it from that 3-hour window, right? They could use any of the 3. Saturdays is just the 2, right? And they're gonna complain, and we say, well, that's why we need to get rid of potentially can get rid of the 3rd one, we can give you a permanent structure, and then it's never a problem.
But I thought we weren't gonna let them use all 3 of them. I thought they just stay off number 1, and you do what you want on
At the end of-
2 and 3.
At the end of the day, we ask them to do a lot of stuff that they don't do.
Yeah,
So-
But giving them 4 days a week on all 3 courts is a lot more than anybody else gets.
Well, that's what I'm asking, so that's what I don't.
See, that's what I'm saying, that's more than anybody else gets. I mean, men's softball has 1 field from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. That's it, 1 day, you know?
Right.
Volleyball has it 2 nights, you know, they have just a block. I mean, they're getting it 12, 15 hours a week, all 3 courts, prime time.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, so,
My feeling is, if we want to give them courts, we give them 2 courts.
2 courts and a time.
That's just me. We give them 2 courts and one stays open.
So you're saying always leave one tennis court open?
That's me, that's just me. I mean,
I think their biggest challenge, I'm not trying to advocate either side, but I think their biggest challenge is sometimes they need 6. Let's just say that they do. Then when can they use 6 is the question. And if the answer is never, that's a problem. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's
Would it
for them,
work
not for
if-
us. I mean,
Now, if you can use 6 on Wednesday nights, then fine. Like, if there's a dedicated time that they can use all 3, then they can schedule things around it.
well, if we tell them they can take out, we'll take out the net on court 1 and they can paint more courts in. On court 3, I mean, court 3.
That, to me, that makes the most sense, if we want to do that.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
What do you guys think? Does it matter?
That way they stay off of court
I
1.
say we keep 1 for tennis,
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying.
matter at all. one of the three, use whatever they wanna do, and the one in between, was sort of dual purpose though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it dual purpose. They can't use all three, I just don't think we really want them using all three at all.
That's my take on it, I'm just,
Yeah, to me, it's the equivalent of let's use basketball as an example. It's like, okay, we want to pay to use basketball, we only need, 2 hoops, let's say. But sometimes we have a tournament and we need all, whatever there are, 6 there.
right, but that's for one day.
I understand. So, I'm just saying, like, I think that's their argument, is sometimes we need it. And we just have to give them an alternative of when they can have it. And that's where the second court comes in, which is fine. So,
To me, that would be, if they're having a tournament that they're gonna request and have a tournament, they're gonna pay $2 a head, then we reserve all 3 courts for them.
okay, that's fine.
That would be my take on it.
That's fine.
And I'm just, I'm trying to be fair here to allow people to play tennis,
Yeah.
and let them use the courts too.
So just for context, how many, volleyball has 2 nights a week? For how long? It's like,
Jamie's group has it 2 nights a week for like 3 hours a night.
let's say, okay,
It's like 6 hours.
yeah, say 8 to be conservative. What about, what's the other one you said?
Horseshoes plays 3 nights a week. They have a Tuesday night league. I don't even know if that's on the calendar, is it?
I just,
No.
what's
Yeah, I know,
gonna
I know.
happen is I'm gonna say something like, hey, this is more time than people usually use, and the instant question is, well, how long do people usually use, right?
Right.
That's fair.
I mean, normally it's,
Did we determine that they paid the correct amount? Because they paid us quite a bit less than they did
Hold on,
last
hold on a
year.
minute,
Seems to
with
me
my
like they're
notes.
using more.
Yeah, I think, did we figure out it was correct or incorrect, Nellie?
It didn't seem to
Okay.
go with the 40 drop-in that he wrote in, but it was unclear.
It seems like in my notes, I think I had that all set, but you're right, I don't remember why it's not correct. I'll find out. But anyway, let's do this. That's okay, 2-3 nights a week is what we normally see, 2-3 hours a time, they're running almost double, so that's fine. We can request.
the other question is the fee this year was supposed to be $15 a head?
Yes.
Or $10 a head?
15.
It's 15, yeah.
And we got less money than last year.
The total.
Less people, I think.
Yes.
Right, but they're demanding the same amount of courts.
Correct.
Something's gotta give.
That's fine, that's fine.
That's my take on it.
It's reasonable to bring up the amount of time that they want, and then scale it down the courts. It's totally fine. Okay, so I'll deal with all that, and I'll have an update next time. That's one thing. I sent an email to Jerry at Horseshoes, didn't hear back, I need to follow up on that. Football we are all set on, Thunderbirds are all set on, and BFIT is all set. I stopped by, got insurance, money, contract signed.
Awesome.
So that's all set.
Anybody using it?
Yeah. That was our first question. It's like, hey, do you have those forms? Like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. You've been using it? Yeah. Like, you can't use it without insurance. So,
We gotta, and that's all, we just gotta get these people to
That's what I said,
understand
yeah.
this is the process.
yeah. So, but he's all set. It's his first time doing it, so.
Yeah,
it was
no, right.
It was pretty cool.
Because he was doing it under the club's umbrella last time.
Yeah.
This time he's doing it on his own, so he's gotta understand the process.
Yep.
That we have to have insurance
Yeah,
and
you-
payment before you get on the field.
Yeah, so is that all set now? Nellie?
Yes, I didn't take a look at the insurance, but I got the other stuff.
Okay. And that is it.
Great.
So pickleball is obviously a work in progress, but before I get anything posted, I wanted to talk about the times.
Do we need to make a motion on the times?
Yeah, I think it
Times?
helps, because then it's not one person's.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a discussion, this is what we voted on, right? So I'll make a motion to allow pickleball, since given the amount of time that they're requesting, to give them 2 courts. What did I say it was? Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So what they're requesting is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 8:30 to 12. And then they're also asking for Wednesday, 4 to dusk. So that would be courts 2 and 3,
So what time in the morning?
8:30 to 12.
All right, so 3 hours, 3, 6, 9,
3.5.
12, plus Saturday. Yeah, see, I'm just saying that's more than what,
You're into 12, you're into
16 hours.
16 hours a week, yeah, which is about double.
I mean, yeah, that's more time. They didn't have Wednesdays last year. That's more time for less money. So, all right, the motion on the board is
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:45.
I second.
Yep.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this allowing them to reconfigure court number 3?
That's a separate motion.
Okay, that's a separate thing. We're just talking about the use and time right now. Okay.
I mean, what's gonna happen is it's gonna spiral into, well, we
I
need more
think that'll be
space.
a motion we're gonna do right after this.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, now I think we need to bring up.
So make a second motion
Making
to,
court 3, taking down the fence, taking down the net and allowing them to reconfigure it
yep,
for just,
You're gonna have to pull the poles out too, right?
Yep.
The posts. So it's gonna be a permanent thing.
yeah, I
They're gonna
guess.
take the net out and the post,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes.
No, it's gonna be, I wonder how we're gonna do that.
Well,
Trust them to do it? They were willing to do the work to put in the permanent, the opposite, put in the permanent, whatever the thing was. It's the same concept, cutting it, patching it. They actually did a pretty good job patching it if you look at some of the middle
Oh, yeah,
spaces.
no, I know, no, they did a fairly decent job for, for what they did. I'm not complaining about the patch job they did.
So do we want to let them do it, or,
One less thing we gotta worry about.
and it's their own, if they mess it up, it's their space.
What about repainting the other ones that they,
Well, I mean, that was,
we look all this into
the
that?
first question that I asked when he came in was, so when are you gonna repaint court 1? And never got an answer. Because we asked them to do that right away.
Yeah.
And they never did it.
I said, before we allow them to do what they want to do on 3, they gotta repaint 1. They put it back to where they, original spot.
I think, just personal opinion is that they feel like they're getting pushed all the time, which is probably not true, but if we, I'd like to do it in stages, right? So get them to do it, maybe we can ask for some help, you know what I mean? We have to paint the tennis court anyway, right?
It needs painting.
It's not their responsibility to paint the tennis court.
Wait, but they ruined the way it was there. They painted over it.
They didn't ruin it, they just put something on top.
They painted over it, so
They
there's
painted
no,
over it.
I didn't see it, but no, there's no tennis
It's-
lines, or is there?
No, there is tennis lines, they're just,
They were very,
it's smaller,
very
it's
faded.
smaller than the tennis, so they basically put it inside the tennis court.
So, but they did something we told them not to do. They went and did it anyway.
Correct.
Correct.
And we, so there gotta be some paint here. If we're gonna give them just the field 3, well, what are they gonna give us for field?
I went online and to buy the paint, I don't know how far it'll go, but it was gonna be about, I think I brought it up at the last meeting I was at, it was like $300 or $400. I don't know how far that'll go. That was white paint, green
And we only have to
paint.
paint 2 courts now.
Correct, and then put in a dotted line in the middle court. That was my suggestion way back.
You start talking about the green and the white?
The white lines, the green court, and then the orange around it.
Right.
The green and the orange came in the big 5-gallon pails. The white was a smaller, because you're only doing the line. And then to get like a fluorescent yellow or something and use that for a dotted line for the,
What if we had them paint something like they did the lines, we did the green or something, and split it? We don't have to decide right now, but
No.
my point is, Joe, this is not a quick, like, let's just go make them do it. This is like literally a multi-year problem.
No, I hate it.
And I hate to get close to a resolution and just keep pushing them and then be like, no, now we're not doing anything.
Well,
It's chaos.
but once again, and I don't know much about the history in this here, but it seems to be they may be getting away with not paying as much as they should be, that's for one.
But
And they
that's
went-
easy to resolve. We resolve it with the amount of time and what they pay.
But then they went ahead and did the fields. I wonder if someone went into baseball fields and mowed out, got rid of the mound.
They do that. They put up a whole.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm just being, be careful, I don't want to school them, I understand that, but they did something and they should have fixed it for us. Should have be painted for us, for nothing. We can't use it that now, it's different, that's all.
They came in and pushed till there was nothing left to
Okay,
push.
so let's do this. As part of the motion, why don't we have them, as part of this, is they have to, what seems fair is we're gonna give them that space, so that's what we're giving them, right? So we're gonna give them court 3, and they can do whatever they want with it. And in exchange, they have to repaint 1 into a pure tennis, right? And we'll do 2. We'll do the lines in 2. Because they're not gonna do it right. They're not gonna do the way we want
No,
it to do it.
that.
Right, is that fair? Is that a fair assumption?
That's why we should probably just paint it, or have it painted.
2 or 1, or both.
Both.
So what are we arguing about then? I'm just saying,
Who's
like,
gonna pay for the paint and the labor? They should, shouldn't they? If we
They're
do
not-
it, I
they're
mean,
not gonna do any of
They
this.
needed to be painted anyhow, before they painted them, they needed to be painted, at least painted. They needed maintenance on the courts and to be painted. I mean, it was to the point where the lines were, you know,
Right, but they didn't
I know.
paint tennis, they painted it pickleball,
I know that.
that's all. I mean, there's gonna be
I know.
something, he just went and did it. I don't know, we gotta get something out of that.
Put it this way, if they didn't do anything, there's no difference to us. We can just paint over it if we want to, right? It's like, this wall needs to be painted and then draw something on it. It's like, oh, now you gotta pay for the wall. It's like,
No, much
I
for
had to
the
paint the wall
anyway. I mean, I guess, where do they go with this? I mean, it's, you know, whatever, I mean, I'm not gonna squabble too much with it.
They
but-
took liberties that they shouldn't have.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
It's
So I
taken a
think
long
they-
time to get around.
I think it's not formative on this. Put it back, the field, number one, court
So
one.
Joe, their other argument, Joe, is they, just like with softball, the old softball regime before you were here, they do a lot of maintenance of little things, like fixing the fence and whatever. So that's always their pushback of, you know what I mean? Anyway, long story short is, regardless, so I think as part of the motion, it makes sense to give them the space, but ask them to paint court one, pure tennis.
Right, and how good's it gonna come out?
What's that?
I said, how good's it gonna come out? They're gonna do something they don't wanna be doing, so
Plus they don't, yeah,
that's my feeling on it.
I agree. So do we not even act, I mean,
I know what you're saying, Joe, I know what you're saying. My feeling is, they're just not gonna do a very good job because they don't wanna be doing
But
it.
do they have to do it? We can get someone else to do it right, and they have to pay for it, or if that's what, or they pay for that service.
we had an impossible time getting them to pay $15 a head. It was a problem for 2 years. So like, think about how cheap that is. Like, you get $15 a head, you get 16 hours a week to do something, and for a year, it's like 30 cents a
Do they have
day or something
do
crazy.
they have another place to go if they don't play here, or no?
No.
Well, there goes a little leverage then.
Well, there's other towns building courts, building pickleball courts, and
It's not about that. It's just about, let's take a step back. For me, it's about creating a space that people can use, and
Yeah.
they definitely want to use the space, which is not a bad thing. And we just want to find a common ground where everybody can get, tennis can play, and they can play, and everyone's happy. And it is our job to create the space and the courts and make them clean and not have cracks and grass growing on and all that fun stuff. So,
Since we just stepped back one, not to be counterproductive or anything, because I really appreciate the work you're doing with it and everything, but I have 2 questions.
yeah.
Is he running a business?
Is he running it as a business?
Yeah.
Like, is he making money on it?
Yeah.
I don't believe
I don't
so.
think so.
Okay, well, that's good. If he was, then it's a whole, separate thing, like
Absolutely.
we charge all the AAU teams and.
Well, it's like
for-profit.
soccer. It's like the buffet guy. Same
Right,
thing.
right,
So
right.
anyway, I don't think so. I think it's basically, and
He's doing it for the love of the sport, I really do. I do
Well,
believe
that's
that.
good.
I believe that.
And I think that if there is extra money, I think it does go into nets and things like that.
I do believe that. I
So that's a
don't
good
think
thing.
he's.
My second question is, of all the people that play over there, what percentage is Lakeville residents?
I think it's a decent percentage. It's mostly people from the retirement.
A lot of people say, okay, so those are questions that would just bother
There are a
me.
fair amount of out-of-town people.
Yeah.
For tournaments.
Or they've lost some of those out-of-town people. But last year and the year before, there were a lot of out-of-town
Yes,
people.
yes, because it was the only place to play. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, again,
Get off track there.
I want to get to a point where they can use the space, we're getting the revenue from them. It's not a pain in the butt every year, which it pretty much is at this point.
Yeah, no, I know, no, it is, it's become the issue.
Hey, did you turn the lights on for volleyball? Look, I can see lights.
I see lights.
Should be the basketball courts.
Joe, the other thing, by the way, when we asked them to pay, there was 30 people here, like petitioning to like yell at us. That's what we have to deal with.
I hear you, but we hold all the cards, so we own the field, on the courts.
I think in general, it makes sense to create a space that people want to use it for that. I'd like to see them use it versus not using it. So.
I mean, I like to see a nice tennis court here, to keep in good shape, so I like to see, it, we could say, hey, we have a nice tennis court here, right now the
Yeah.
best. And you got pickleball over, some people drive by, oh, I can't use it tonight, pickleball's there.
Yeah.
That's what I think we have.
No, it's totally fine. So I think that the amount, so let's take 3 steps forward here. The amount of time that they want doesn't allow us to give up all 3 courts. It just doesn't make sense. So we just voted on giving them only 2 courts.
Right, but allow
But in exchange, this is the good news and the bad news.
Right, is to
Is to give them
we'll
their
take
own
down,
space.
we'll we'll let them take court 3 and use it extensively, and they can reconfigure it for however they can
Yep.
get the most courts in.
Yep,
But then they're gonna give up court 1.
yep.
That's the
And
motion?
then, and then we can, I honestly want to do painting as a separate thing.
Yeah, no,
It's gonna be a fight, it's not worth it.
And if they did do it, it's not gonna be what we want. We're gonna look at it and go, I don't like this one, I'm gonna redo it again. So we might as well just do it.
Or it'll be like, they'll agree, and they're like, when are you gonna do it? I'll get to it next week. Like, wow, why would they do it?
I mean, they agreed to do it and they never did it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, that's what happened before. They kept, oh, yeah. And they never did it, never did it.
But because they don't want to do it, which is fine. So, anyway,
Right.
okay.
So the motion is to give them extensive use of court 3, however they like.
Space 3, yeah.
Space 3, court 3, whatever you want to call it, area 3,
Allow them to reconfigure it.
Okay, you meant to
Keep the net
say
down.
exclusive use, right?
exclusive use.
Well, it's no longer gonna be a tennis court.
Court 3, court 2, we will manipulate it into a
but
multi-purpose.
That's actually a good point, is that it's not their space. If pickleball wants to play in
Oh, right.
their space, totally fine. That's
Oh,
their space.
absolutely.
And that's actually nice that it won't conflict with tennis at that point either.
And then court 1 will be extensively tennis.
Right, because if I'm playing pickleball and I show up and it's not dedicated time, I could just pick any spot, because they'll have courts on.
Yeah.
That's actually good too.
Okay, so that's the motion.
Sorry.
All
Sorry,
in favor?
who even started the motion?
We need a second?
Was there a second?
Need a second.
A second.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any further discussion?
Oh, wait, should we discussion before voting?
Yes.
Well, we already voted on it, so.
I think there was plenty of discussion.
All right, plenty of discussion.
We're good.
So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Unanimous.
We should keep the net in the post in case we.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, we should definitely, yes.
And we're gonna let them do it.
Sure. One less thing we have to do. Okay.
So
But
just
then
to-
we want the post in the net.
Just to organize it a little bit, the first motion was just to give them the times that they want, but only on 2 courts.
Correct.
Right.
And then the second one was to exclusively give them court 3, multi-purpose number 2, number 1, solely tennis.
2 courts meaning the 2 spaces,
Right.
because there actually won't be a court there.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
We will
Good.
still call it court number 3.
Court 3. Sure.
Space 3. All right,
Space
sorry, that was a lot of
All right.
stuff. but-
And you wonder why the meetings go so long.
It's not me. It's very
really?
is you.
There was a half an hour on you.
I know, it's
Exactly 30
true.
minutes.
There was a half an hour.
I know. Sorry.
Okay, so we're on that. John, Pond Park updates, bathroom updates, general updates.
Let's go with bathroom first, Mike.
All right, bathroom.
Well,
Hey,
Is
are
it
we
worth
using the
it?
toilet yet or not?
tomorrow,
Is it going?
I'm giving my report.
Sorry.
I have an appointment tomorrow morning with the manufacturer at 8 a.m. To talk us through it. The reason I can do it now is because I finally got the cord. I ordered it at Amazon, got it delivered yesterday, which I forgot to bring the bill for. So I guess I'll have to wait till next meeting to get
You
reimbursed.
just ordered it yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, fine, it doesn't have to be in for the last fiscal year, so we're good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So that came in, that's the last part. Scott, you told me earlier when I talked to you that I have a key for the black locks because that's where the other hose is. So hook up the water, hook up the electrical. The guy's gonna walk me through it. Any of you guys wanna come down? That's great.
What time?
I'm gonna come here first and talk to Mike and Joe and see if I can get at least one, if not both of them, over there to show them how to do it, because they're gonna. I'm not gonna do it all the time.
I'd like to be, I'm not be around until like later in the week if you're on Friday.
I already have an appointment for them.
Okay.
They're gonna talk me through it, but I'll go over it with you.
Well, I get, when you're done, I get concerned over there as well, the whole thing. What's this for here? It
Say again?
Read it.
says new lock what?
Doesn't it say new green lock?
It says new lock.
Oh,
New
okay.
GR lock?
The lock.
Yeah.
So what's the new lock, what's the key to the lock we're talking about?
That's the new green, we bought new locks, okay? That we're in the process of replacing all the locks in the camp,
Okay.
okay? So you're a commissioner, so I'm giving you a key.
With locks, what locks I get in? I don't understand, what locks is,
All
Don't you have
of
locks
them.
at John Pond?
locks.
All the locks. Here, at the camp, Claire Pond, John Pond.
Padlocks.
So you were talking about, last meeting you were talking about replacing one of the locks on one of the buildings?
Mike gave me one, he put one on the other day, he gave me a different key. For the
Right.
maintenance lock, that's not this as well, right?
No, now you have
So the
two.
bunker rate is locked up, it's not this lock here.
No, and the reason that one is the old, listen, that those are the old locks. The reason we went to new locks is for the past 20 years, there's been locks around here. And everybody that's worked here has a key, and they kept them.
Okay.
So everybody and their brother had keys to the whole place.
Like
All
to open that gate?
So you jumped ahead, we're talking about John Pond, yes, but I didn't know where those locks were coming in for, I don't know what they need a key for, but go ahead. I understand, need locks.
You good?
He said the black lock, and that's what spurred me to give you the key. The other key is for the black locks. Sorry.
So are we gonna be replacing the lock for the
I
bunker?
need a lock too.
No, because, and I'll explain
We'll get to
why
that in a
later.
minute.
Okay, so let's finish this, because I
All
got a
right,
question about the bathroom.
okay, bathrooms. So I have a call, they have a manufacturer's, technical guy that'll, hopefully will walk me through it. Tomorrow is the answer to your question. When will they be open, okay?
Okay.
I hope.
Unless
I run into a
I
problem.
can't make it tomorrow, I'll be out of town, so I didn't know if we could
I
go
know,
tomorrow time.
I know, I'm the same as you, I gotta schedule it tomorrow, I was able to take the morning off, so. But once we get it, I have the whole book and everything, and once we get it, do it once, we can do it together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, we go. So how are we gonna handle the locking and unlocking that bathroom, and who's gonna have keys to that?
Okay,
That's
it
the
was
next
my thought, pardon me, to get another lockbox, lockbox like we have on the, and only give the code to us,
Softball.
the people from softball, Eric from Blooper Ball, and Jackie from Blooper Ball. And they open it, they plug it, it was suggested by Nate that when it's not being used, unplug it, take the cord right off, put it right in the maintenance. So it's shut down.
Yeah, but they're not gonna have a key to the maintenance. We're not gonna give everybody a key to the maintenance.
Okay, well, we'll do,
Just put it into one of the bathrooms. Put it in the ADA stall.
ADA, yeah, good point. Well, I'm working through this as we go here.
No.
So, that was my thought. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah,
The
that's what-
lockbox?
Yep.
Okay. The supplies, I called Linda today, she said that they're down there in the ADA stall. I ordered whatever special supplies it needs, so that should be good to go with that.
Right, I'm just gonna pick up a mop and some
She said something about some trash cans?
small trash cans for all three, a mop and a bucket, just so that she can clean it.
Okay, you can leave all that right in the ADA stall.
There's room to leave it in the ADA stall?
Oh, it's huge.
I know, but people are gonna be using the ADA stall, because it's the biggest bathroom.
Yeah, well, I know, I realize that, but when it's being used, can't we just take the mop and stuff and put it outside, or you think? Because it's gonna be basically, people are gonna go to play their games, they're gonna open it up, and then when they leave, they're gonna lock it back up, right?
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if softball's there, it's gonna be unlocked the whole time they're playing. So it's gonna be unlocked the whole time they're playing
Okay,
blue ball, so
this
there's
is what I'm trying to work through.
kids
so-
and there's, that are unsupervised. I mean, I was down there and they're trying to tip one of the kids over in the porta john during one of the games. The mother had to scream and holler at him from the field.
Okay, so let's work out
And that's why.
a thing to do.
But the
Maybe we can
softball
use-
guys had said that we could store stuff in that shed.
Perfect.
We just gotta, Linda would be dealing with the code. I mean, there's nobody else that needs a code.
Yeah, well, we have the code too.
I mean, you have the code, but,
Yeah, right.
they said, oh, yeah, if you wanna store, toilet paper and stuff in there, we can put it, put it in there.
That'd
I'm
be
just
great.
thinking, if we leave it out, something's gonna happen.
No, I agree.
We're gonna come down there and find
The whole place.
That's why we have meetings.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that.
All right, so, I will have more information on the bathrooms tomorrow afternoon,
Awesome.
all right? I hope. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Other than I need I hope I have the key to that black lock. I think I do.
If you have the old key, you do.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to be needed.
Yeah, but you're going out of town.
I can get it to you.
I'll call, if I get
He has
stuck.
one. You have one.
Yeah,
Yes.
if I get stuck, I'll
But
call
we're gonna
you.
keep that black lock.
Yes.
We're not gonna go to a green one.
No, not on those doors,
Okay,
and I'll explain why.
okay,
All right. That's all I had
okay.
for the bathrooms.
When we go in, we wanna, there's not much going on. We did get a check from the Looney Foundation for the tournament there, the 10th and 11th. We're gonna let them use a snack bar the whole 9 yards. Same as they paid last year, $100. We didn't want to go up on that because it's a charitable thing there. We got the money from the Drifters. They're $1,000 check, so we're all set. They're using it nights on field 3 for practice.
$1,000, huh?
Yeah.
For the tournament, yeah.
No, just the Drifters practices.
Oh, that's for the practices down in the bottom
Sarah,
field.
same time, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Awesome.
Did they not pay last year?
No, they never paid.
I know it's a story.
Yeah, they never paid, so this is bonus.
Yeah. But the last I remember on that is she was here and she
Yeah.
said she was gonna see what they could afford.
And she didn't bump that.
I didn't think they were gonna come up with $1,000, so.
It's great. She didn't
That's awesome.
She didn't balk at that.
Yeah.
I put a new, I got the padlock on the metal door for the snack shack, you know, the padlock type with the block box. I got rid of that one. I got a new block box. I mounted it on the wall, about 6 feet high, so kids can't hit it with blocks and try to break like they did the other one. So I'm assuming Blue Ball has in contact and said, hey, you can't get in there. So they must have seen it on the wall with the padlock thing gone. So it's still the same code. Everybody's got that. So each one has a mounted black box or, lock box on the walls. By the shed, the big one, by the snack shack, and then on that other shed that Freetown Lakeville softball put in. They all got block boxes that way.
They all have, there's 3 different lock boxes now? Oh,
Yeah, 2 of them are the same codes.
Okay.
The big shed and the snack shack are the same. The other one is their own. That's the size for Free Lake softball.
I think it's the same code, actually.
No.
No, it's not, okay.
And there's
So we'll have to find out what that is, so.
I know what it is, I go in there, but I can go there and give it to anybody because nobody needs to go in there.
Right.
Unless we put stuff in there, but we've been asked softball folks on that one, they probably won't.
Right.
We can put it in, I'd say leave it in the snack shack, the toilet paper, whatever you might need, put it right in there.
Wherever, just someplace so we can lock it up, whether it's in the snack stand, that's fine.
I'd say put it right in there, because that's what I have some paper towels and toilet paper already in there for the porta potty in there, so.
In the snack
In the
shack?
snack shack, yeah,
Okay.
underneath the counter.
Okay, so where would I put, if I do get a lockbox for these keys, where do you think I should put that? Any
Key
ideas?
mounted on the side of that, it's all metal, I don't know if you want to do that,
Screw into it?
yeah, probably not.
All right, I'll look at it tomorrow.
Maybe put it on the other shack, right shed right next to it, put it right on there.
The snack shack.
No, but maybe on the other.
Oh, their shack.
Oh, where
This
they're.
shed. Put it right on that.
Attach it to that, yeah.
Yeah, right on the corner.
Go right on a bathroom or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because, just thinking about that, someone's gonna need to unlock the bathroom for the Looney tournament.
Yeah, I'll take care of that, because
Okay.
I'll probably give them a code, whatever. So,
Okay.
I'll fire up the coolers too, I told me you can use those, I shut those off, I don't have those things running.
No, absolutely.
So just so, I'll fire them up that weekend for them, that's all.
Great.
So,
Great.
so-
I'll be the first group using them. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, Blooper Ball will be using it before that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, whenever
That's
when my kids are running, we'll cut them loose.
Have a loose. Blooper Ball?
On the new,
Did you have to- you
as
have to
long
use
as they
those-
lock them up.
Do you have to use that wording?
Because that's my only fear down there, so a lot of people do some weird things down there.
Yep.
So if we leave unlocked one night, someone's gonna know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
beacon out in town that, hey,
Oh,
What am I doing?
that just made me think too, I gotta get a wrench down there and take those cranks off.
I think you took them up already.
No, somebody's already tried, was down there cranking one corner up.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I think it's a 7/16, so I'm just gonna, I'll grab that tomorrow, I'll take
The
them
big
off.
things are off, right? The big thing,
Yeah, those bolts, the travel bolts are
Yeah,
off.
yeah, you should do
But
it.
I'm talking about the cranks.
Cranks, yeah, yeah,
I didn't wanna take them off yet because I gotta level it. First thing I gotta do is level it.
yeah.
So I'll do that tomorrow.
And just food for thought, just to stick in the back of your mind, what we're gonna do with that come wintertime. Are we gonna attempt to bring it back here and take it off that nice pad and potentially screw up the pad? Or do we cover it? Or just put in the back of your mind some thoughts about what we're gonna do with it come wintertime?
Yeah.
I mean, the thought was, oh, we'll just bring it back here, but getting it secured on that pad was quite a production. Do we want to go through that all the time?
Not once we get the highway department, they had no problem. Let backhoe, they had no problem.
Okay, so it's just a thought,
Yeah.
not a decision to be made today.
Just one other thing there, we have Justin Pike has been coming down there every Friday to do the bunker raking and other stuff, and he was clearing out the brush in the behind field one the other day. I went up there and I heard a guy in there, and he's throwing softballs out, but he's in there clearing brush out of there for us, so
Great.
that's pretty nice there.
That's
So.
on Friday?
Yep,
Yeah.
he's going down on Fridays.
He usually goes on Fridays.
He's going Fridays, and I think he's coming here on Thursdays.
He was doing it last Wednesday, but there's a holiday, I'm assuming he was out there, but he's doing the bunker rake every Friday. Now, the trash down there, I know that issue came up at one point.
Yep.
I don't have a dumpster down there, I don't want a dumpster down there. Someone's taking it out of there, I'm assuming it's the highway department's taking it out. I don't have a problem with that, so I'd like to keep it the way it is.
Right, but I don't think they want to continue taking it out.
But who's saying they don't want to do that? I know Mike mentioned it to me,
Yeah.
not this Mike, but
Mike
is he bringing it up, because the highway says, hey, I don't do the trash anymore? I don't know.
Why don't we have the kids do it?
Say that again?
Mike, when he was down there,
Yeah.
mentioned, hey, Joe, he says, you might want to think about getting a dumpster. You know,
Yeah.
he says, the highway department's, keeping score of taking care of the trash. I'm like, I don't want a dumpster, because there'll be also household stuff in there. Can't we just, whoever's doing it now, keep on doing it?
Okay, well, I
And I don't know if anybody said anything, the highway department or anything. Someone's been taking it out of there every week, and I think it's the highway department, so can't they keep on doing it? What are those damn locks?
The dumpster.
Yeah, but it's not gonna work, you know that, someone set it on fire, I don't think we need a dumpster.
Do we want to have the kids from the park come down?
I mean, could they do like, if the highway department's not gonna do it, why could Justin could do it, maybe bring it to Clay Pond every week?
Well, he's got his own vehicle, we can have Dougie send the kids down. I mean, it's a half an hour.
It's up to you guys, I don't know.
Half an hour dump run. They come down, they
Right,
grab the trash and bring it back to Cliff Pond.
Worst comes to worst, we can have Joe go down there with the park truck.
What's what I mean, but the kids are gonna have the park truck, they're gonna have the truck 4 days a week.
Until August 25th is what I'm saying, but after that, if you feel that, I mean, we
August
always
25th is gonna be
had.
done.
I don't care who does it, it's being done now, so I don't want to mess up anything.
No, I know. August 25th will be done down there.
Right,
And the park will be closed and
well, it won't, John Pond won't be done. You get fall ball
Fall
started.
ball time.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But there's no schedule yet for fall ball, I haven't seen anything, right? We don't have anything
See, that's the other point you
scheduled for
can,
fall ball down there, no schedules, I know, past August.
No, they just, I just noticed that they're advertising sign up, so you might want to give one of those guys a call and say, hey.
Okay, I haven't seen anything, I didn't know if they might have done something we didn't, wait, I know someone mentioned fall ball down there, but it's
Yeah.
nothing past August that I know of.
Yeah.
because historically, we charge per session, per season.
Right,
So,
I think they know that.
okay, I mean, just, that's,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure they know
I'll get
that.
hold of them. Ask.
because that's another point you can make to pickleball. They're paying one session for the whole summer, where all these other groups pay per season. So they're getting a better deal.
It's getting a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Okay, you good?
That's it.
All right, you took a minute too much.
How many is launched now?
Okay, here's the deal. You wanna know why? Here's the deal. Everybody and their brother had the keys to those old locks, to these old locks, okay? So that's why we went and bought new ones, to get rid of these old ones. The reason we're keeping the old one on that is because that's what the town guys have. I don't wanna be handing out new locks to everybody, new keys to everybody. I gave them to you guys on the board. Mike has them, Joe has them, Linda has them. That's it. The whole idea was to get rid of these. Yes, we're gonna get rid of them completely, but here was the thought. The town guys already had that key. That's why I slapped the best two locks I had on that. They can continue to get in there if they need to get in there for the bunker rake or whatever. So that's why there's two keys. We were trying to get rid of them all, and Dougie has some of the old locks because he locked last year. Some of the out-of-town people thought it was funny to unhook the chains from the raft and let them drop to the bottom of the pond. So the raft was doing this. So Dougie says, can I keep a couple of those old locks and lock them on the raft? I said, go ahead. I said, if you have a problem getting them off, just cut them. I mean, who cares? They're That's what, these are beat up, these are 20-something years old. So that's the only place we have old locks right now, is on the barge down near the raft, and on the 2 black ones on that black door, on that door. And that's why we didn't put new locks on that door. Okay. Anybody else? Anything there? Jump on? Okay, Route 18 Fields.
Okay, Leah, after her visit here, Leah Fabian, the liaison to us from the Board of Selectmen, let me back up. I was not able to make the Selectmen meeting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon last Monday because I work. And I tried to change things, but I wasn't able to change my schedule. But I brought my whole folder with all the information. I gave it to her, went over it with her, and she was nice enough to present it to the Board of Selectmen. I don't believe they looked at it, but anyway, they did approve it without much discussion. So
The bid?
The bid, I'm sorry. Yes, the bid, the first bid. And the second bid, it was agreed to go ahead and put that out today with a cutoff date of the 24th.
Question, is she sending it to the specific people you want her to send to, the 3, at least 3?
I will make sure that she does. She was on vacation last week, and she has that list of people, but I'll make sure I send it to her again.
I have a question. So we have an approved bid to do the fields.
Yep,
So they can start,
anytime he wants,
cool.
which he's going to. The second bid is due the 24th. I have a walkthrough on Monday, the 15th. I think it's the 15th. Nate is not able to do it that day, and so I told him I made 10 o'clock.
What's the question? Why is there a walkthrough in the second field?
Because possibly you could have 5 totally different people.
What date?
15th.
Wait, say it again? Oh, second bid.
Second bid.
Got it.
What time?
You could have totally different people doing it.
I'll be going.
10 o'clock.
Sorry.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
I'll be in Maine.
Right.
What is it?
I'll be there. Monday, 15th, 10 o'clock.
I can't do it.
Here. Meeting here, and we'll go over there. We could have a ton of people, we could have nobody. So,
We had 2 last time.
right. What else is going on? So, yes, anyway, they have contacted Northeast Hydro Seed, who won the bid. So he'll be coming down to, do some preliminary stuff shortly. And he'll be getting going on it. As far as the electrical goes, I need a lock. We talked about that earlier. They won't give us a permit for the electrical until I have a lock on that electrical box.
I have one more question. What was the bid?
How much?
Yeah.
39,300.
39,300 for the one field?
Small one will do it. You can give me 2 if you want. But, yes, the bids were between 39,300 and 65,000.
Wow.
Okay.
It's only for discussion, I'm sure.
So again.
No, nothing.
So anyway, as soon as I get that on there, Nate should be able to get the electrical inspector down there to okay it, and Middleborough Gas and Electric will be right down shortly to power it up. The drill, D&M well drilling should be there within the next week or 2 to put the well in. And so we're moving along, we're making some progress. John from Southeast Fence donated a gate. I don't know, it's there already.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
I drove by and saw that.
Yeah. Well, he was a little concerned about people going down there when they was doing the fireworks and stuff. He says, well, you guys are gonna need it anyway. I'll donate it. He said, it cost me less than $500. So he did, he put it in,
Awesome.
so.
No
we need-
more,
we should
no more
put a lot on
barrel.
that.
Yo, we'll put a lot on that.
No
A nice new green
No
one.
more barrel you can slide back and forth with the chain?
Huh?
No more barrel?
No,
with the chain?
no more barrel with a chain, I don't even know how to.
No,
get
no
that
more
off.
barrel and like really drag.
No, we should probably put some reflective tape or something on it.
Yes,
Some
yeah,
good-
good
some
idea.
good.
Good idea. Okay, what else is going on with the field?
That's a lot of good stuff.
That's what, yeah. I think that was it. I just want, again, I wanted to thank Leah Fabian for doing that for us. It was a great first meeting with her, and it was great to have her working with us.
Yep.
That's it for that.
Okay. FY19 closing, review encumbrances.
Yes, okay, so this estimate for the well drilling, we will not need anymore, because he's gonna give us an invoice for the work done, and it'll be done in July.
Unfortunately,
So I don't have to worry about that.
unless we can encumber it.
No, not off of this estimate. But it was coming out of capital, like we had talked about, and
Right,
that's
I
just
thought-
gonna get, Right?
Only the 75 that we got at town meeting is gonna carry over. Everything else is gonna close.
God,
What's left in the capital is like, after the bathroom, there's gonna be like 10,000 left in the capital expenditures that was part of the budget. And then the 42 that was encumbered from last year, that 52 will close out and be added back to our retained earnings. So we can go and get it at special town meeting in the fall, and then that will stay as capital. And it will stay, it won't be part of our budget. It will stay as capital expenditures. That's how it was explained to me. And as we use it, but it won't be part of our actual yearly budget.
Okay, so should I see if I can get an updated estimate from this?
I mean, if you'll let us encumber it.
I
Probably
did
not.
ask the town accountant, and I told him that it was just delayed by the company, but it was approved, the amount, everything. So he said to go ahead and submit it, and he would review it, and, you know, it's not that he got delayed, there's nothing we can do.
It would be, well, unless we get it paid other ways.
Right, I mean, there's a possibility we could have the money donated for it, but I don't want to leave it. Yeah, why don't you see if you
How
can
much is
submit
it?
it?
9,000 something?
Yeah, it's like
Or
90.
do you want me to
8,900.
contact you and
8,900?
see if I can get an updated one?
I mean, if we can encumber it, it would be good.
We need an
It's just that
updated
much less we
one,
have to worry
because the
about.
accountant won't accept an expiration date.
How much of that can we cover with what we have?
Okay, so you're telling me, yes, we want to encumber it, we can encumber it, but it has to be a newer date on it?
Yeah, he needs to
Okay,
update this.
I'll see what I can do, just to cover the bases.
Alright.
Do you know what we have left in capital expenditures?
No, not after the amount from the meeting and stuff. I don't have
Because
that
we've
right
got,
away.
what, 48, 47 for the bathroom,
Yeah.
plus the electrical costs.
Did we put anything for the FY20 budget
We
from
didn't-
capital?
We didn't have, because everything was, 150 was appropriated, plus the 42 was carried over. We only had about 30 grand. So
Okay,
yes,
so there was-
there's 30. In FY20, there's like 30 grand in capital expenditures, not a lot.
Not a lot.
What about the money for the parking lot?
That's gonna, but what I'm saying is, at the time that we did the budget, 42 was encumbered.
Yep.
So that was taken out of our retained earnings,
Right.
okay? When we did budget 2020. Now it will roll into retained earnings at the end of this year if we don't spend it, which we're not gonna. So it will get added back to retained earnings that we will be able to go and get at special town meeting. But until they certify it, we only have about 30 grand in retained earnings. That's why we can only put that much in the budget. Do you understand where I'm?
Yep.
So it's a case of, we had all these expenses sitting here, so it reduced our retained earnings because we encumbered them or had them in our budget.
Right.
And if we don't spend them, then it rebuilds the retained earnings.
But so to start fiscal year 2020, we're gonna start with some amount in capital expenditures that could cover this July bill, since the work is gonna be done in July.
Yeah, do you have 2020 budget in front of you?
I don't.
Okay. I don't have it in front of me, but
Yeah.
I believe there was like somewhere between 20 and 30.
What does
So
the
that
invoice
could
have
cover
to be in?
that, and then at something else, we could get the other funds at special town meeting in the
But that's
fall,
not
if
the
we
fall.
needed to do it that way,
Right.
as opposed to encumbering it.
Because the only thing we're gonna have is we're gonna have 75, which is pretty much gonna be earmarked for the fields.
Right.
39 and 34,
Yeah.
but it's 75.
Right, yeah.
That's
That's
gone.
It's stupid we can't encumber it.
You can't encumber it unless you've either incurred it, technically you can't encumber it unless you've already incurred it, or have purchased it and it's on the way. You can't just encumber it. I mean, he allowed us to encumber the drainage because Rita went to bat for us. We had something in writing. It was a done deal, it was gonna happen, and then it didn't.
And then it
So he, and understandable, now he's sitting there with this $42,000 encumbered money that's not gonna get spent.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know,
Right.
so,
He would rather encumber as little as possible.
Yeah, no, I get it, especially after last year, I get it.
so we will have excess, plus whatever our, let's call it revenues over expenses. I hope we have revenues over expenses and not a deficit for 2019. That would add to our retained earnings. So I mean, there should be approximately 60 getting added that will roll over from this year, and then whatever our surplus is for this year, hopefully there's a surplus.
Cool.
So we could technically pay this out of our capital expenditures in FY20 once the bill comes to us in July.
Right, I was just trying to get it.
Yeah.
Because we might need that.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Justin's got it, because we
Yeah.
may need it.
Right. So my next question will be the invoice for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm gonna need to encumber this one?
Well, when does it have to be paid by?
As soon as-
Wednesday.
Tomorrow, you're gonna be there tomorrow, right?
We can approve it if you guys want to.
I would say, I would only approve it if tomorrow works, right?
What?
You're gonna go down tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna approve it myself.
No, I'm saying if it works tomorrow, then we can pay it. We can vote now that
Approve it
if it
tentatively
works.
that it works.
Right.
Yeah, well, fine with me. Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Do you guys want to sign it?
sure. So this will, that, we don't have to encumber, we don't have, it'll be just right in?
It'll be in with this fiscal year's invoices. So there we go. That'll work out.
What was the
Was
original
there
quote? Sorry.
other work that needs to be encumbered for the fields or anything? No. Right? Is there other work that, Old Colony, weren't they going to charge us for something for work there?
Transportation.
Yeah, we got
Is it
it.
just the
Yeah, yeah.
transportation?
That's all.
No, we already paid the other one.
Oh, that's
Granite City
right,
Electric,
because
no.
they did it on the account.
Granite City Electric, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
perfect.
You don't need
So
to
what
go-
about like, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you don't need to go crazy on trying to encumber stuff, because I think we're gonna be tight. Just encumber what you need to encumber. Don't look for things.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be tight. We spent a good amount of money, and we don't have the revenues that we had last year. The revenues from here are down. Rentals down.
2020 is gonna be a big year. August.
I think 2020 is gonna be a big year in August. So yeah, I mean, don't go crazy. I mean, if somebody has a bill, we have a bill, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody can think of anything in June that has happened at any park, let me know. I can reach out to the business and get whatever we need to figure it out.
I don't think there's, other than, just the electric maybe.
No, that was the June electric.
Okay, great.
So that should be all set. I think the only thing that'll butt up right to it is, water testing at Clear Pond. I think we have to do
$40.
that every year.
It's $40.
Yeah, and
No,
that's just
they do it,
weekly.
they do it more than every year, they do it,
Oh, no, I mean, we encumber it every year because they do
That
it
was in the
weekly.
bills, wasn't it?
I wouldn't worry
That's
about
only
it.
2 weeks.
I wouldn't worry about it, I mean, it's not a big deal. If you do, you do, you don't, you don't, we're talking a $40 bill,
Yeah.
you know? There you go.
The reason to encumber, correct me if I'm wrong, so you don't mess your budget up.
Correct, well, but the reason to encumber is if you have an expense that occurred before June 30th.
Right. That messes your budget up.
Yeah, it's called the accrual system, but for municipalities, you encumber things. In the real world, it's called accounts payable.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
just saying.
$40 isn't gonna make a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not, but if I don't tell him that they're coming and the bill comes saying, oh, hey, we did a testing on June 30th and it's now July 14th or July 20th, he will not pay it. They won't get paid.
That's different.
That's the biggest issue, is that
Okay.
anything from June just won't get paid.
Okay, all right, well then you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm just, yeah. Okay. All right, any new business?
Yeah, with the horseback riding, to make a long story short, there was some discussions about people not cleaning up their horses in the town. I commented how I saw one go through here that day. And so someone asked, well, are horses allowed here? I said, well, geez, I don't know. So we need to find out, are horses even allowed to come through or go on the trail, or do we have any rules?
Horses and motorboats?
I've never seen a horse in there, other than when we rented the horse and buggy and
The
weddings.
The very morning that they were having the discussion, I said, I saw one here that day.
Okay.
How does it get here? It goes on the road?
Trailer or road?
Well, I just saw it walking towards Precinct Street on the road, person riding a horse.
That's weird.
Well, from Lakeville.
Yeah.
You used to walk on those trails, you used to see some, horse leftovers on those trails, the nature trail out there, yeah.
Really?
Some must have had some years ago, I don't know if they still do it.
Personally, to me, it would fall into the same thing as a dog. If you
Yeah.
bring a horse on here and your horse craps, you gotta clean it up.
Right.
I mean, until we have a problem, I mean, I can't see a problem with someone wanting to take their horse on the trails, other than they gotta understand that there's a lot of people and dogs that walk on those trails currently, and if your horse is at all skittish, it's not the place for them. But to me, they would have to fall into the same thing as a dog. If your horse goes, you gotta take care of it.
Right.
And if you don't, then we'll say no more horses. I mean, I don't wanna say that, but
Yeah. Is that like, you were in response to, there was like Lakeville, helping Lakeville discussion about someone was complaining?
It was discussion about people not cleaning up their horses on the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, do we want to go down that road and say yes or no, or just?
Do you have a recommendation?
I think it's good on the road and the trails. I would say nothing, nowhere else on the fields, definitely not.
No, definitely not on the fields, yeah.
Just the roads and the trails. And would this be the only park that has a place that seemed logical that they could go on?
Do we even want to get, they go to Massasoit all
I
the time,
mean,
they do.
when you think about that,
Really want 'em here.
if we say, you can't go on the ball fields, there's not much area for them to, it's just the trail. And that's a small trail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big trail. I mean, personally, there would be a lot of work to bring a horse down here to go on this little trail.
Yeah. From the road.
Yeah. I mean, because
So weird.
definitely can't have them traipsing out in the fields. That's a no-go.
So do you need to provide an update or something?
No, I just brought it up because I was just trying to find out an answer to give that person,
I mean, you could probably tell them, I mean, we don't have any rules against it, but that they would follow the same as a dog.
Right.
There's restrictions around baseball fields.
Restrictions are, they're not allowed on the playing fields, and you gotta clean up after your horse.
Yeah.
And if we find it a problem, then we will make a decision.
Yeah, makes sense. Same
You can bring your
as
zebra,
ours.
you can bring whatever you want. Are zebras allowed? I don't know.
Why don't you clean them up?
Camels,
Pet
whatever.
giraffe?
When's the last time you saw someone with a horse at a show? never gonna happen.
Well,
You know?
then,
They're
Never.
like travel ones
Yeah,
that
okay, well, then
some
don't,
like
then don't bring the horse
avid,
here.
Yeah, I get
really
it.
good people.
Well, some of the people in
But-
discussion claim that they come back and clean up, and other people say, no way.
It's where you're taking it. It's not like you a bag.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I know.
what are you taking?
Any more new
They
business?
have the bags that they can wear, like a diaper.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yes.
Any more new business?
Yeah, I had a couple things. Haunted house,
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
was, you had mentioned, who, was somebody at the town hall asking about it?
Yes, Emery Oral
Yeah, the mural.
was asking Rita about Lakeville Haunted House and if it would be happening this year. And so Rita stated that she did not know and provided my contact information to get another answer. So I confirmed with her. I
We're
don't
waiting
know
on the new board to get
either.
hold of us, right?
Right, and that's what I told Emery Oral as well as Rita, is that the last we knew, last year when they ended and paid us for the season, they said that they were no longer doing it as themselves on the board. They were handing the reins over and they were finding other people to take on the board and take on the haunted house. And we stated, okay, well, give them our contact information and have them contact us once you get it settled. And we'll start communication. That's the last time we ever heard from them.
Is the stuff still here? It's gotta be, right?
It's all there. Man. We should have them turn the keys over to us so that we have control of someone just coming in and taking over. They should have to come to us. Because someone approached me and said, "Oh, what is the park commission? Well, the parks do it. You can make a lot of money."
Somebody had said that to me too, I'm like, yeah.
And I'm like,
No
"Ooh."
way.
How much money did it make for us here? Did we,
A lot.
12,000. We've got 12,000.
Well, we make
So no one's doing it this year?
We guessed like
We don't know.
We guessed
don't
100.
know.
We
I
guess
can-
their gross revenues are probably about 100.
I could try to reach out to the contacts we did have, but when it came to the end of last year, they were really like, we're done.
Well, maybe we should ask them for the keys then.
Yeah, so I can ask for the keys and then I think the website's still up. I can try to see if anybody
That
is
way,
monitoring
You can
it.
throw a green lock on
Oh,
it.
yeah, in years
I
past,
could
they've already
put a green
started.
lock on there.
When do they usually start working on it?
They
Well,
start in June.
well, already
now.
would
They
have.
start now.
They're probably behind it, they haven't started already.
Right.
Wow.
And it's all volunteers, it's crazy, it's all volunteers, it's a whole other
Oh, yeah.
multi-year discussion.
It's,
So you're gonna contact them, Millie?
yeah, because
Yeah,
you know, there's a
I'll
lot
try
of
to
issues with
contact
the
the people
building.
that I have
I don't know,
to
we've pretty much
get,
come to the point that we're not putting any money into that building. That if someone's gonna run it, they're gonna maintain it and they're gonna pay for the electric
They may not
upgrades.
get
And
they're
then,
gonna-
yeah, and then it gets inspected, it fails inspections, and they don't wanna pay.
But that's why they
It's
put
a
it all
whole thing.
outside, wasn't it? There was nothing in the building because of the
Right,
fire
it's
code.
just
too, right?
storage inside, but
Yeah.
all those people are still inside.
Yeah.
So it's used for storage.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's an iffy thing and.
Kind of a shame if they don't run it and do it though, because
Yeah.
it's all up to code now.
Right, they've done a lot, they've done a lot of work in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they close their books, and they don't have money to pay until the people come, it's a whole debacle.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why we tried to get them, like everybody else, they pay a deposit towards next year. Well, that was like trying to get them, you know, that, wow, you can't do that, my account says you can't do that. I said, that's bull. But anyhow, but I think we should ask them for the keys, so that we have the keys and then someone has to come to us.
okay.
We know
We're gonna
that
ask the,
the prior group.
Yeah, I'll contact the people from last year and see if
Oh, I see what
they'll
you're
get
saying.
I'm just
back to
saying,
me.
that way we know if someone's interested, they gotta come to us to get the keys. That's all.
If this town
They
had
should
a
give it
regular
to us.
Parks and Recreation Department, that would be a great thing for us to run.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right, you put someone in charge of it, and, you know, and
Yep.
they're running it, you know, I mean, but the whole thing with that is if this was like run like other towns, you know, we'd be running the leagues. You know, we'd be overseeing that, and we'd have a park director, and we'd have people getting paid, but they'd be running these leagues, and the money would be coming into us.
yeah.
But that's another whole story for another day. It's not the way it gets set up here in town.
Okay, the other question I had was, any progress on the cable? Still waiting?
Yeah, progress, cable, it's right there.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's up and running? You chose one?
No, I didn't, no, it's, you know, Lorraine has asked what packages, you know, and and what's in the package, that's all. And
So
she goes,
if-
oh, go to this website. You go to this website, and it's the residential package that I have. You know, so what's in the, it doesn't say basic, it says Premier HD, and it says, then this one's more money, and this one's more money.
Yeah. So this is just one of the cable companies, right?
This was Verizon, which is what we have here.
Okay. Oh, I thought they were looking at Comcast too.
Well, Comcast was gonna charge us for another installation, it's already here.
All right.
So no, we're just trying to, but also we've been asking, and Lorraine's been asking and asking and asking.
Yeah, I see.
What channels are in the basic package? Just all I wanna know. What channels, because when you go to the website that they tell you to go to, the link, which I clicked on, it's the Premier HD packages. And it's extra 20, extra 40, extra 60. They quoted us a price of $25 plus $7 for a sports channel. All we've asked now for over a month is what's in the package for $25. Because as we all know, even your basic package has some sports channels. And if it comes with NESN and CBS and ESPN, then we don't need to pay the extra $8 for the sports channels. I think that's plenty. I mean, we're not here to entertain the whole world on every sports channel.
So the answer is we're working on it.
It's
Still-
being worked
still in
on,
process,
and
okay.
Lorraine's still trying to get an answer as to what's on the basic package. That's all. We thought it was a pretty simple question, and it's turned out not to be.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that it for new stuff?
Any other new stuff? Items from the clerk, and we're gonna hold you to one. That's it.
I actually don't have
None? Great.
any. Isn't that fantastic? The only little note is the basketball tournament is trying to go ahead and confirm a date, so then she can come in to just review everything with everybody. And she is looking for a Saturday. She's trying to confirm it with SEM at this point. So
That
it's
shouldn't be a problem.
a Saturday in September 14th. And I know she does it a bit later.
Even if there's a wedding, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, noon until like 4:30
Oh, I another thing to bring up too.
is what she's asking. And of course, they'll do the food outside, and she's gonna get a tent to rent for over there as well. So once that's confirmed with SEM, we'll have her come in just to review everything
Okay.
for the basketball tournament. That's been about it.
I know you got something, Joe, but before I forget this, I got a text from somebody that said that they were over here playing tennis, actually playing tennis, I think this past Saturday, and they were told they had to stop playing and they had to leave because it was a wedding. And the wedding rented the lodge, so they couldn't be playing tennis. I got a problem with that.
We know who did that?
Well, obviously it had to be somebody from SEM because there's nobody else.
That would say that.
Who else would go tell them they can't play tennis?
Yeah.
I know we've asked, SEM has gone over and asked, when pickleball has 40 people over there playing, and they have an outdoor reception, they have an outdoor wedding, can you take a break for 15 minutes while we have them?
They did.
Wait, but that's not what this says. It says,
No.
the person told these people they bought the lodge.
Right, they bought the lodge, so you had to leave the tennis court. And that's not acceptable. Two people playing tennis should be able to play tennis whether there's a wedding. Fine, if there's an outdoor wedding, give them 15 minutes. Let them do their nuptials, but there's no reason that they can't then continue on to play tennis. If pickleball can play 40 people, two people playing tennis should be able to continue to play tennis.
So that had to have been the wedding on Friday night, because that was the only wedding over the weekend.
So it had to be Friday night. I thought it was Saturday, but whatever. It had to be Friday.
SEM probably wouldn't say bought the lodge, so it must have been like the people who,
The bride or something.
yeah.
Well, I don't know, after that text I got the other day, it could have been. We'll have to ask SEM if they told somebody that they can't play tennis, because just because someone bought the lodge doesn't mean that someone else can't play tennis over there.
Yeah, maybe it's miscommunication.
You mean, why are they saying bought though? They rented it.
They rented it, right? No, I know. But we just gotta get that straight.
Yeah.
No, what we gotta do is have SEM explain to anybody that's renting it that, if there's an outdoor wedding, we'll ask them to stop playing while you're having your wedding but that they can continue to play after.
You can put up signs on the tennis court.
Oh, yeah, we don't-
Should the contract,
We don't really know.
revise the contract, put a statement in like that?
That's what I'm saying, is that they need to tell people renting,
Yeah.
if they're gonna have a wedding, by all means, you know, I mean, they're asking for quiet, it's quiet. Somebody playing tennis or pickleball should, you know, be courteous enough to take a 15-minute break and while they're having their say, but that they should be able to then go back and play. I mean,
Well, we don't know if that happened.
we don't know who it was that told them that.
How'd you get the update?
It was an anonymous
Anonymous email or something?
text from a town official.
Got it.
You know, so I think we need to ask SEM if they went over and told someone they can't play tennis, because that's not right either. Go over and ask them, can you wait 15 minutes while they do the ceremony? Yes.
Well, that may have happened.
It may have happened, and even this official said that that may have been the case. So we need to find out further that nobody can tell them they can't play, whether they rent the lodge or whether it's SEM or whoever it may be.
We should create a running list, because we always do this, and then when they come in, we're like, oh, I can't think of anything. Like, there's always stuff we want to talk about.
Nellie's putting this down right now. Items for
Because
SEM.
it takes a couple cycles to get them in, and then we get them in, and we always forget, right?
To the next meeting, or?
No,
The next time
whenever
we have
get them.
SEM, or we'll come up with a list of bullets and hand it to SEM. What was the other thing, Mike? There was something else. Oh, communication. As to who to contact first.
Right. Yeah, I'll call Nikki. Nikki's in charge, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll call her tomorrow.
Maybe you can ask her, maybe you can just ask her if someone told someone they couldn't play tennis, or was it someone it could have been someone from the wedding too. You know,
It could have.
it could have,
We bought
especially.
the lodge.
Yeah, we bought the lodge. You know, that's very
The
possible.
guy with the checkbook said, I
Yeah.
bought this place.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Joe? Did you have something that you want to
But
say?
just thinking about signage, I know we talked about getting some signs, handicap things and all that stuff.
The
Yeah, all those-
the handicap signs we're waiting, that's coming from Nate and Franklin. But I did get some of those, and most of those will be going up. These new parking ones will be going up over near the soccer courts. And then I went designated smoking areas. No parking, vehicles will be towed. Oh, I'm missing one. I don't know. maybe it's-
Where is there no parking around the soccer area?
Along the fence. Between the skate park and the soccer. There's no parking there.
Oh, on the road.
On the road.
Sitting there, oh, okay,
Because
I see
once
what
one
you're
car
saying.
parks, then someone parks on the other side and you can't
Right.
get through.
Yeah,
And some of the signs have disappeared.
Yeah. Is there one for like the basketball courts too? Because they park up there. I think there's one already there. They park up there all the time.
Up where?
On the grass. Basketball courts. Between the basketball courts and the volleyball courts.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a car parked there a couple times.
Yeah. I believe there's already a no parking thing there. Right?
I believe there is, but some people don't believe in signs.
Reading?
Yeah, so I just gotta get some, I gotta go over to Home Depot and get some of those little metal corrugated signposts, so we can attach these to that. And put these up here, like we had discussed and talked about, putting one out this door, one out the other door, and then a sign in the back. You know what, I didn't get that one.
Did you not get no smoking?
No, I'm supposed to have one that said, no smoking within 25 feet of a door. I don't know where that one is. Maybe it's at the house. I thought I had them all. Anyhow, some of these, and some of the no parking signs will go there, and the other ones are gonna go in front of the maintenance building, because everybody parks in front of the doors.
Yep.
And poor Linda had to call the cops one night because she couldn't get in. She came, took the equipment out, and she couldn't get the equipment back in because 3 cars had parked right up in front of the base. But that's what we got. Anything else? Next meeting?
Okay.
22nd.
What's today?
2 weeks from today, 22nd.
Works for me.
might not be able to make it.
Yeah, I might be out of town that day.
Yeah, I am out of town that day. Wait,
That whole week's bad for me, so.
yeah, I'm on vacation, 20th to 27th.
Oh,
We're up till the 29th?
Well, I mean, you guys can do it without me.
Well,
I'll
that's
be
if-
gone the same week too.
That's what we're down to 3, so if for some reason somebody can't make it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can schedule for the 22nd, and as long as the 3 of us can make it, we can have it. If not, we can move it to the 29th. I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
We'll do that, just book the 22nd, and then 29th is a contingency.
And then we'll just kind of confirm that we're all gonna make it.
Nellie can let us know, hey, we didn't do it, and 29th.
You wanna do that?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, just let me know if you guys are not
So
able
we'll
to
go
make
the
it.
22nd, 7 o'clock good, or no? Yes, maybe?
Yep, sounds fine.
Okay.
Seems easier for everyone.
Who won't be here that night, for sure?
And
22nd.
20th.
So just be 3 of us.
It'd be you and Mike.
Right.
So if we're gonna move it earlier, I mean, I know we moved it to 7, I mean,
Whatever time you guys want to do it.
it's up to you guys.
Doesn't matter to me. Mike, is it,
Yeah, that's fine. Just, you mean like 6:30?
you wanna go to 6:30?
I can do that.
Okay. Move it up to 6:30.
I can do it on that day.
Is that okay with you, Nellie? You gonna be in?
Yep.
So we'll tentatively go for the 22nd, and if we can't make the 22nd, then we'll just reschedule it for the 29th automatically and let you guys know.
Yep, sounds
So
good.
just keep that in mind, Mike and Joe, that if you can't make it,
Tell me as soon as possible.
yeah. And then we can, that way, no one shows up and we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so the 22nd of July. You guys have a good vacation. Where you going?
Going to Martha's Vineyard.
Okay,
Harwich.
I won't be here next week.
All right.
So don't call me for
Where you
anything
going?
next week. I'm going to Bahama.
Ah,
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at